The 1993 AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, Carlton and United Breweries, Telecom Australia, McDonald's, Nike and Foodland.
Session continues. Modra in front of Martin. Martin, a good spoil. Modra recovers. Gives the handball. Magnificent footing of McGuinness. Gee, it's good to watch.
In the second worst defeat in Foster's Cup history, North Melbourne was walloped by 147 points by Adelaide at Football Park in February. Shamefaced, North returned to Melbourne. Wayne Schimmelbusch was replaced as coach. Today, North Melbourne is the top team in the AFL, with 6 wins from 7 matches. And the match against Adelaide is the match of the round.
It was a performance that really humiliated us and
felt in the best interest of the club that it was best for him to step aside, and the players may perform better under a new coach.
in the interests of the club, in order to perhaps turn it around in the 3 weeks we had, we needed to get some new blood, some new life in there to give the place a bit of oomph.
The players that we've got here are good enough to be successful this year. I'm certainly aiming to make the final 6.
Hello, welcome to Football Park, and hasn't North Melbourne come a long way since that 147-point defeat in the Foster's Cup? It's a beautiful night at Football Park. It promises to be a very big match, and North Melbourne has returned here, and it's very determined. Dennis Pagan has performed a miracle this year. North Melbourne, the one loss against St Kilda in round 2. They've got a winning streak of 5 at the moment. They're top of the table, and they're on a real roll. They've beaten Geelong and Footscray amongst those wins, and they are flying high. For Adelaide, well, they started the season quite magnificently with wins over Richmond and West Coast. Graham Corn said we could be seduced after the West Coast win. There's a bye coming up. A victory like this could be dangerous. It's turned out that way. Fell in against Fitzroy and have lost 3 consecutive matches. These 2 teams between them, by the way, have held top position on the ladder throughout the 7 rounds so far. Big crowd as always at Football Park. We've had 3 matches here this year, 46,000, 45,000 and 46. And I would suggest that the crowd is around about 46,000 again this evening. The record between the 2 teams, Adelaide has a slight edge, 2-1. North won the first encounter. It was a thriller at the MCG by 2 points. Adelaide had a big win in the final round of 1991 when it won by 73 points. Well, working with me tonight is Gerard Healy. Gerard, we're looking forward to it. It should be a terrific match. Let's have a look at the 2 teams, and firstly Adelaide.
Yes, well, the makeup of the 2 sides very different, of course. Bruce, Adelaide's strength on the ball. North Melbourne up forward. Kicking goals has been the Crows' biggest problem, with Modra 39, the only player in double figures. They may try some lateral thinking, with perhaps Anderson going to centre half forward. Wren back is a big plus, giving their on-ballers first use of the football.
So the Adelaide team fascinating, with North Melbourne basically unchanged.
Well, their big strength up forward, of course. There's 4 players there, Carey, Longmire, McAdam and Roberts, that have kicked 99 goals between them. They will try to tag the Crows on ballers.
Pretty sure the Crocker won't play. He has been named on the interchange, but it looks like Pyman will come in for him. But Buckley is in the 20. Thanks for that, Gerard. Gerard will be working alongside Ian Robertson in the commentary position tonight, and Max Stevens on the ground as always. Here's Wren. Great to see him back. We take a break. Back with the opening bounce after this.
The next game is Australian.
What's the challenge, Swayman?
We just thought you'd like to know that the international version of the Australian-designed and Australian-built Mitsubishi Magna is now on sale in the USA.
The Nile. No river in the world is longer. We're here for Energizer to prove no battery lasts longer. These rollers are all using ordinary batteries, except one. He's powered by Energizer. You need a lot of energy to row a river this long, and that's exactly what Energizer's got. International tests confirm that no battery lasts longer than Energizer.
He's still going. Oi!
To reduce the cost of health insurance, SGIC Health members now have the option of paying in excess. So you can save a lot of money on premiums by agreeing to pay in excess, just like you do with your car insurance. SGIC. We'll see you through.
There are all sorts of claims being made about light beers these days. So what's so special about Foster's Special?
The boys are back in town, boys are back in town.
Yes, the boys are back in town, and so's their favourite reading. It's the 1993 Camry Crows official yearbook. It's on sale now at all newsagents, but it won't be for long. Get yours before they're all gone.
Tuesday, a blowout leaves a young girl stranded on a busy highway. 4 months later, her clothes are found at a deserted creek crossing. In a city car park, disguised armed thugs fatally shoot a security guard before escaping with thousands of dollars. Do you know the whereabouts of Deborah Alice Campbell? And can you help police trace the gang who've broken into a container yard on 3 occasions, stealing whiskey worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Australia's Most Wanted, 8:30 Tuesday on Channel 7.
Welcome back, and Tony Modra, leading goal kicker before today. But Gary Ablett's 12 goals in that match against Richmond's taken him to 45. Modra had a great year, and he's on 39. Speaking of goal kickers, they've got a few, haven't they, North Melbourne? As we join Max Stevens for the Mitsubishi Motors Ground Report.
Thanks, Bruce, and a very good afternoon, or a late good afternoon to you. And conditions here today have been ideal. Earlier in the week, it's been that way. No chance of rain whatsoever. A beautiful sky with no clouds. Let's have a look at the forecast, and it's fine and mild. Sunny days, but very cold overnight. In fact, our expected low, a mere 5 degrees. Today's high was 16. The ground condition, excellent. The wind, a very, very slight breeze. Goal advantage, none whatsoever.
Max, who are you tipping tonight?
Well, it's not going to come any surprise. I have to go for Adelaide. North Melbourne, they've played some great football, but they've only beaten 2 really good teams, and Adelaide to bounce back this evening.
Ian Robertson, welcome to the coverage. Always great to be at Football Park. Big crowd, tremendous atmosphere. Should be a wonderful match.
You couldn't help but get involved, could you, Bruce? It's a fantastic setup here at Football Park, and I'm sure North Melbourne are going to be very, very determined to try and erase that the memory of their last visit here. I think that they will get a lot closer, but I'm fancy Adelaide. I'm in front of their home crowd. You mentioned that Crocker was named on the interchange bench, but it is Robert Pyman down here in front of us that's going to the bench with Ben Buckley for North Melbourne.
Yes, I think Crocker was injured yesterday playing in the VSFL, and Wiedemann and Rowe. Gerard, your tip?
Well, I'm going to go for North Melbourne. It's a tough contract for them. 6 games in a row was only achieved once last year by Geelong. That's their task today. They've been in magnificent form. I saw them last week against Footscray. They can close down the Crow on ballers. They're in with a big chance because I think they've got more options up forward.
Archer has Modra, and Hart goes on McAdam. A couple of key matchups at either end of the field.
Does it look like Micken at centre-half forward for Adelaide?
Yes, he's there with Fairley picking him up. Laidley on lip tack. And is it Stevens running with McGuinness?
Yes.
McDermott and Schwass, and they're at it before the ball has bounced.
Yes, McGuinness is trying to pick up Schwass, trying to break that tag.
Wren gets the first tap. Stevens a touch. Jarman's handball was very effective to Jamison. Long left foot to the pocket. Robran fell over. Martin over the top of it. Robran comes in and interferes, and Martin will take a free kick. North Melbourne able to take it away. The kick by Archer was a good one. They stroll away through half-back. Scholes drop punt towards half-forward. Smart unopposed. Carey with him. And tough on Smart there, Carey. That will be a fascinating duel as Adelaide go away. Jarman down behind play. Good mark taken by Rasciuto. Gives it over to Anderson on his left side.
Anderson kicks the ball very, very long and direct. Top effort there by Archer. Ball forced forward. Opportunity for Fairley in the right back pocket, and he clears quite effectively. Outside 50 metres, Anderson and German. Anderson's hand pass for McDermott. A little too fierce. McGuinness and McDermott. McDermott just stuttering, able to get the hand pass away. Bashed on by Micken, but a free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to Adelaide, and it looks as though it may be taken by their captain, Chris McDermott. He's probably too far out to score, McDermott. Not a long kick. 55 metres from goal. Jarman in the hands of the trainers. McDermott short into the pocket. Modra up against Archer. Back there is Smith for North Melbourne. He kicks it back to Andrew Jarman in good position. Clarkson, McDermott, Jarman. Combination very good. Jamison. Long kick. Wide out towards the opposite half-forward flank region. Robran tapping it in front of himself. Close to the boundary line. It's still in play. Shepherding by Laidley. Ineffective. Tregenza. Short kick into the front of the square. Fairley. Well done by Fairley. Clears for North Melbourne.
Schwass, who's had a great start to the year, like a lot of North Melbourne teammates, Clarkson and Jarman, and out of play. Andrew Jarman, who copped a hard one a moment ago, was in the hands of the trainer. Micken, first game for the season, fairly with him, went through German. McDermott over the top. Jamison caught, and it'll be a ball up. John Rosso coming in. As we said, a perfect night. It'll get cold, but conditions ideal at the moment. Adelaide kicking to the golf course end, right of screen. Anderson's quick kick towards the 50-metre line. Ross Smith comes out and attacks it. Well played lately to get rid of Liptak. Smith swings a handball to German. German at half-back, kicks the ball up towards Carey with a big fly. Bickley was caught. Here's Carey again. What a match he played for South Australia on this ground last year. And what form has he been in this year? The early Brownlow medal favourite, out of bounds.
Yes, North Melbourne are using Ross Smith as a spare man in defence. They'll be hoping he can duck back into the open space, cutting off Modra's leads. A good move from Dennis Pagan.
Ruckman contesting. Kick forward by Scholl. Drops in short. Roberts couldn't control it. Kicked forward by German. German to centre half forward. And a good mark. Standing his ground, Carey. An imposing person on a football field is Wayne Carey. Adelaide fans not happy that there wasn't much in that.
Well, he was a hero here midway through last year in the State of Origin game, Carey. Absolutely destroyed Victoria in a couple of quarters. Fortunately now he's a New South Welshman.
Well, a big job for Nigel Smart playing at centre half back this evening on Wayne Carey.
Should point out Gerard's a Victorian selector. There'll be a few South Australians listening to that, Gerard, that will choke tonight.
Carey amidst the boos and cheers and jeers. Lovely kick, a goal. So the first goal of the game kicked by the North Melbourne captain Wayne Carey. That's Russell Green, the runner there, giving him some instructions. North Melbourne 1 goal, Adelaide yet to score.
Yes, good body work there from Carey. That's his strength. And there's another example of it. He was a superstar last week, Carey. Marked everything that came his way. And Nigel Smart will certainly have his work cut out against the up-and-coming superstar of the league.
Carey's 28th goal for the season, back in the centre. Wren wins a tap. Liptak's handball good. Anderson from about 75 metres goes bang with a long one. Robran gets back and out of play.
Well, very symbolic that one, I thought, from Anderson. Typical of his days at Essendon, where he had the big gun full forwards, Salmon just to kick the ball long to. That's not the structure here at the Crows. They've got basically leading forwards, although Rodbram is in a forward pocket. But that kick was ineffectual in the finish.
Rashito kept it in play. Rodbran, handball back to Micken, quick left foot, gets a little bit of distance, and a behind. Modra taking a mark over the line. First score for the Crows. 6-1, Mark Micken. And what a day it's been for his ex-team. Captain of Brisbane, the inaugural captain.
Looks like Manuel Micken with that.
Sure does.
Little beard.
But we know it's Mark, don't we, Robbo?
My word. Here's Ross Smith to kick it back into play for North Melbourne. Good distance from the kick out. Well outside 50 metres. Ischenko can't quite judge the mark, but taps it on. Allison and Roberts combine. Allison's kick just a little bit of askew to left half forward, but Carey, big, strong and pacey. McAdam, great pickup. Ramiro into the square, off the ground. German, he slipped it through for a goal. Well, somehow Peter German was able to get his foot to that, and there wasn't much room at all. He's got North Melbourne's second goal. A great start for the visitors from Interstate.
Well, have a look for this for talented play. Carey does it well. It's a shocking kick forward, but have a look at that pickup. Marvellous piece of skill there by McAdam. And well done, German, to sock it through that goal. Danger signs there for the Crows.
12-1. German getting the second goal after McAdam produced a little bit of magic with a great grab and handball to Ramiro. Wren gets a tap and gets a free kick. Well, the advantage is paid. Adelaide may take advantage. Anderson, McGuinness sweeps it out wide. Lee back to Anderson, getting some early touches, chips it wide and finds Robin, who ran himself into form against Collingwood. Modra on a lead to the pocket, out of play.
They're so far doing quite well, North Melbourne, blocking up the Crow forward line. They used that to effect in the early part of the year where they were the dominant side in the competition. Modra just running into open space, taking chest marks.
Boundary throw-in the left forward pocket for Adelaide. Robrin and Martin. Neither one can control it. Jarman! Oh, I think he's... No, just... Oh, golly, that was close. Archer desperate. The ball hitting the post.
Well, there's some people that are really a big rap for Archer. And interesting that he's got the big job on Modra today. And that was a fantastic piece of goalkeeping there.
Smith kicks in. Mark taken by Laidley. Laidley in the right back pocket. Gets good distance. Back near the centre of the ground. Taken by German. One-handed hand pass, usually deemed as a throw. Scott Lee, good vision. And a very good kick. He finds Liptak well within scoring distance. Good goal kicker, Matthew Liptak for Adelaide. He's going to have to get a pretty good boot on this to get the distance. Nice looking kick, but just offline. And through 4-1 behind. So the build-up, a little disappointing, the result from Matthew Liptak.
Crows implementing the zone defence against the North Melbourne kick-ins.
Smith bangs it in towards Ashenko. Scholl comes in from the side. Ashenko and Micken holding one another up.
Been in good form, Scholl. Did well on Chris Grant for Footscray last week. One of the better players on the ground.
Ex-Best and Ferris at the club. Oh, Carey, great gift. Allison running out of room, but able to get another kick in towards McAdam, who got underneath it. Hart takes to mark. Oh, that will be a duel. Hart swings it to Anderson, who's having his fourth touch now. McGuinness is working for him about 50 metres away. He goes long. McGuinness did go shorter than that. Jarman just gave a little shove, played it cleverly. Unfortunately, went too far for Robrin. Nice take, fairly. Round the body, kick up the centre wing. Didn't really look. Anderson puts out the leg and takes a comfortable mark. So he has started well.
Have you seen a guy dominate the opening minutes of a game like this man has?
Kick into the centre square. Micken able to give it off. Now Tregenza pops it up. Modra in the front spot. To ground. Well played. Archer had 3 against him. Smart running up and Archer able to get the best possible result there out of play.
Certainly was. It looked very, very dangerous there for North Melbourne. Modra just slipping at a critical stage. Boundary throw-in about 35 metres around from the Adelaide goal. Chance for Jarman. Hand pass. Into the path of Liptak. Back for McGuinness. McGuinness snapshot. Very close, but he's hooked it a little bit too far. And through for another behind. So Adelaide getting a fair share of the ball, Jared, just not able to capitalise.
It's a little bit fluky in front of goal at the moment, but I like Stevens' play there for North Melbourne. He left his man in McGuinness to go and attack Liptak with the ball. He knew that McGuinness would get it, but sacrificed his own game for the teams.
Scholl, Allison, clever handball, quick kick by Roberts, who's kicked 16 goals this year. Carey. Crowd calling for a throw.
Well, the umpire was blinded there. Smart. Tackled Carey well, and it looked like a throw, but umpire can't see through bodies.
4-12. Adelaide twice the scoring shots, but they trail. Stevens quick kick. Roberts just held it up, unable to take it. Maynard Jamison, McDermott, Bickley, Tregenza to centre half forward. Jarman caught underneath. Clarkson did well. Must be a free kick to Laidley. Clarkson stopped Jarman getting into the picture. Liptak was always going to struggle, and Laidley's free kick. Recruit from West Coast kicks into the centre square. Roberts in the front spot. Oh, clever mark against Maynard. You mentioned that he's played the role of McCarthy this year, Gerard, as he kicks towards centre half forward. Rouvray, now McAdam. This very gifted and talented player, besieged by Crow defenders, and they hold it up at centre half forward.
Yes, you have to take your hat off to Roberts. He's a player that was a broken AFL footballer after coming down from the Bears. He has resurrected his career at North Melbourne and really is a key for them now, filling McCarthy's role, and also does well as a second mobile ruckman.
Desperate stuff required here from Adelaide. Rock. Now's a chance for Scholl. Oh, snapshot very, very wide there by Craig Scholl. Over on the full. So a free kick to be taken back there for Adelaide by Rouvray.
The ominous sign there was that Scholl got the ball so easily with no pressure, wasn't it?
Yes, well, he is picking up Jamison at the moment. He's letting him free at the present time, but followed him all the way down the ground.
Kick out towards half back. Chance now for Adelaide. McGuinness. Oh, good play there. Not quite as effective as they would have liked. Maynard just fumbling a little bit after receiving from McDermott, and the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. Centre wing. North Melbourne have kicked 2 goals straight. Adelaide are 4 behinds. Taken by Big Alex Ischenko. Kick off the ground by Stevens. Taken by Maynard. 50 games for Adelaide. Rodney Maynard. Kick towards half forward. Bashed on by Nicken was intelligent. The pace of Liptak, terrific. The short pass. Oh, a little bit too fierce for Modra. In goes Archer. Hand pass out for Laidley. Laidley's left foot kick is good, and he finds Allison at half back. Sweeping hand pass into the path of Fairley. Fairley's kick, effective, 45 metres. High flyer was Jamison, couldn't control it. At the back, mopping up McGuinness. Hand pass, chopped off by German. German's quick kick, up towards full forward. Longmire, punched away by Rouvray. Nearly collected by Scholl. Left for Carey. Carey around onto the right foot. Kicks to the front of the goals. Discipline. Good talking by Lenny. Who's brilliantly tackled. 2 hands as the umpire. And Peter German was desperate to hold them up.
We'd have to question that one. Certainly the grab was above the shoulder, but it wasn't around the neck.
Wren to McDermott. The captain runs his 10 metres and kicks to centre half forward. Micken at the back. It's a good take by Laidley. Away again. Adelaide having trouble at half forward as they have in the last few weeks. Wren takes a spectacular mark. Spectacular in the sense that the degree of difficulty was high. Now McDermott with Tregenza wide. If he quickly goes to him, decides against it. Poor kick. Liptak, it was a poor disposal by McDermott. Smith, Allison at half back. Centering kick. Punched on cleverly by Rock. Carey. Good start by Carey. Scholl, nice dummy, and then centering kick. Ischenko in the box seat here. Stretches high. Well played Maynard. Roberts claims it and gets it. Did he touch it first?
Bit lucky, I think. Got the feeling Big Alex had a bit of a touch of that.
Yes, well, that's how it looked from here, but Roberts has got first, well, even borrow on that one. Good to see Ischenko working down Wren's, trying to create havoc for Carey, blocking him up.
From 45 metres, and a good-looking kick by Roberts for a goal.
From now until the end of the financial year, your Mitsubishi dealer will offer great savings on the entire range of Mitsubishi Express vans, Tritons, Star Wagons, and Pajeros. So if you really want to save on Express vans, Tritons, Star Wagons, or Pajeros, we'll give you a few days to think about it.
At McDonald's, it's value that goes up while prices go down with McDonald's Extra Value meals, all just $3.95. That's extra value. This Big Mac, medium fries and medium Coke is always good value. But at $3.95, it's extra good value. Here's another. McChicken, medium fries, medium Coke, extra value at $3.95. And there's a great choice of McDonald's extra value meals. Just $3.95 each. So what are you waiting for?
Mate, we've got to get a hold of London.
Yeah, Antwerp too.
We don't call them now, they'll be onto this claim like a seagull onto a sick prawn.
Yeah?
Hello?
Use Telecom, mate. For local or international phones or faxes. Only Telecom can connect you from any phone in Australia to anywhere in the world.
You haven't got a fax machine, have you, mate?
Telecom service. We're talking anywhere to anywhere.
Of all the things I've done with my life, the one of which I'm most proud is being a dad.
Patrick Duffy is unforgettable with Linda Carter in Danielle Steele's most moving story of a husband shattered by infidelity.
Is there someone else? Oliver. Why?
Who refused to give up on his kids.
Don't you know how much I love you?
Or on life.
You're a very special man, Oliver.
If you've ever been part of a family, don't miss Danielle Steele's Daddy. Premieres Monday, 8:30 on 7.
12 minutes left in the first quarter. There's a free kick from the centre square area. North Melbourne, obviously too many players in there, so Adelaide will take the free kick.
Yes, and Matthew Robbins been moved out to centre half forward. Micken in the forward pocket.
Play nearly messed up there at the centre bounce by Adelaide. In trouble, Bickley. Andrew Jarman's tap on for Lee was good. Lee forced to kick fairly quickly. Nearly a mark taken by Laidley. He's a desperado, Dean Laidley, back there at half-back for North Melbourne. The kick goes back near the wing, and Andrew Jarman being penalised there for keeping his North Melbourne opponent from the marking contest. That's Clarkson, and he'll kick North Melbourne into attack. Right up to close to the 50-metre line. Carey, third in line, takes the mark directly in front, 50 metres from goal.
It's been a marking machine, Carey, this year. Really has gone that next step in his development.
Markologist is what I've heard today. I don't know what they do, but Wayne Carey does it well. And he does it well with a kick too. He's got his second. 4 straight. North Melbourne. Adelaide are 4 behinds.
Yes, and their big guns up forward are doing particularly well. The ball's coming down quite quickly into their forward line. Laidley having an impact on this game across half forward. He's picking up a number of possessions and minding limp tack at the same time. But this man will probably, if North Melbourne win, prove the difference. And what a difference a couple of months will make.
2 goals to Carey, 4 goals to 4 points. He averages 9.6 marks a game this year. He's been in great form. Allison overran it from German. Kick by Tregenza. No free kick down the field. And the mark taken by Martin. Dangerous time for Adelaide. They gave away a couple of goals, then kicked a number of points, and now North Melbourne have stretched the lead out. Carey held out of it by Smart. Now Bickley to Tregenza. He's got a bit of time here to set it up. Drop punt pass. Rashuto tried a half volley, unable to do so. Jamison tried to go off the ground. Rashuto, good effort. Maynard, McDermott, better build up here. Tregenza, now Modra takes off. Tregenza's centering kick. Modra being held. No free kick. Archer pumps it away. Jarman in pursuit. Martin tries to take Jarman out. Archer winning the points early. Bangs it straight down to Swash. He's a long kick. He goes long. McAdam in the front spot can take a big mark. Stretches high. Ramiro with pace. Left foot under pressure. Out of bounds on the full. Is a free kick down the ground? There is? No. No, I was getting excited over nothing. Smart.
Well, the free kick for out of bounds on the full will go to Adelaide. 9 3/4 minutes left in the first quarter. That kick disallowed by the umpire. Why? I have no idea. He's forced now to kick it close to the boundary line, and McAdam takes the mark.
It's a pretty ordinary kick in the finish.
Kick allowed? Why wasn't that first kick?
Well, I was on the same tram as you there, Robert.
He kicked it over the man on the mark, didn't he?
So I was busy looking up the statistics of Wayne Carey, just having an enormous season.
Puzzling. The ball with McAdam. Adrian McAdam.
He's got some chance of kicking this, Robbo. He's a freak.
Well, he's set some sort of a record, hasn't he, Bruce, in the 3 matches so far? 23 goals. He's 50 metres out. And I'll tell you what, he's done a pretty good job with this. That is a magnificent kick. Well, that ball has to have sailed about 60 metres, doesn't it? He's kicked it from 50 and it's gone through about, what, three-quarter post high?
But what I like about Adrian McAdam is he absolutely knew from the moment he got the free kick that he was going to kick that goal. I saw him do the exact same thing at the Western Oval last week. We thought, this guy's kidding himself. He's like Gary Ablett, just goes back and bang, through it goes.
$30-4. Oh, what a goal by McAdam. What class that rookie has. Schwass in the centre. Stevens caught by Bickley. Good tackle. Jarman. The engine room must start to fire. Tregenza. Risciuto at centre wing. Well, Adelaide needing a couple of goals now. Modra on the lead. Archer's done well against him so far. Now McGuinness, if it sits. Still McGuinness. Has Robrin inside. Runs himself into a bit of trouble in the end. Left foot kick. Laidley and Smith getting back. As Gerard said, Smith loose. Now Archer. And it's a bit too easy at the moment. Stevens at half back. With some time. Space. Goes to centre wing. Lovely mark by Wren, who started well. Gives it over to Jarman. Jarman short to McDermott. Held up though. In the centre square. Now Modra, one out. Archer staying with him. McDermott kicks to Modra. Archer still with him. Gives him a little shove. Running onto it. Lee. Good tackle. Allison. Laidley. And conceding a behind. And when you're leading 5 goals to 5 points, it's an easy decision to make when you concede like that.
Adelaide getting a little bit of the football, but messing around with short passes. A little bit too predictable too. North Melbourne chopping them off. Kick goes out towards half back. McGuinness under pressure from Wayne Schwass. Too high, was it? In the back.
Yeah, a bit of a touchy one, I thought. A little bit lucky, McGuinness. But just to give you an idea of the turnaround since the night game, Adelaide was 6-8 to North Melbourne, 1 point at quarter time. At the present time, it's a 100% turnaround.
Well, McGuinness will kick Adelaide to within scoring distance, up towards full forward. Rotherham maybe held. Modra will get the goal. And eventually, after about 3/4 of this first term, Adelaide kicked their first goal through Tony Modra.
And he has been really their only focal point this year, Modra. That's his 40th goal for the season. And as you see there, a pretty intelligent tap over. Bad luck to Archer. He followed the flight of the football and lost control of his man temporarily. Paid the price, but doing a pretty good job all the same at the present moment.
30-11. 1-5 to 5 goals. Wren wins the tap easily. He's been winning the centre. Schwass, quick kick to half forward. Smart. Lee, well played by Smart, who's got the biggest job in footy tonight to take on the informed centre half forward in Carey. Anderson, Risciuto in the front spot. Smith had the drop on him all the way, and Anderson's kick took a long time to get to Risciuto. And Smith able to take it comfortably to centre half forward. Roberts, good grab. The added dimension this year. Now Roberts from the centre square. Lovely drop punt to the goal square. Longmire set. Smart with a big fly. McAdam round the body. He's very good, this man. Bang. A genius. He's a superstar. What a player. 2 to McAdam, 6 goals to 1-5.
Well, I'd reckon he's got a similar genetic makeup to Gary Ablett, this man. Particularly as far as goal sense is concerned. That goal only a minute ago was just unbelievable. That one's so cool, so calm in a crisis. And Adrian McAdam gets his second.
If you have a look at him, and he looks as though he's out there having a smoko, doesn't he? 6 goals straight, North Melbourne. 1-5 Adelaide. Ball to be won out of the centre, and it is by Clarkson. Kicks it wide to the wing. The race is on. Allison, who's very quick, gathers on the favoured left foot and kicks it in towards full forward. Punched away from McAdam by Hart. Taken by German. Hand pass Clarkson. Dumped by a solid butt. Jarman, handball Bickley. Wide of McDermott. In turn McGuinness. Get rid of it quick, Tony. He does. Anderson. Second option was Bickley. His kick towards half forward. The mark taken out there by Modra. Hand pass chopped off by Laidley. And away go North Melbourne. They're playing very, very direct football. Ramiro's on the end of the pass. His kick to the front of the square. Longmire punched away by Carey. Longmire's got the footy. He's caught. Nothing much he could do with it, so the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt and will bounce.
Well, 30 years ago, the sin of football was to kick across the goal face. I'd say in the 90s, the sin of football is to turn the ball over easily on your half-forward line, as we saw Liptak do there about 1 second ago.
John Russo playing musical chairs with Wayne Carey and Sean Wren. Wren wins the tap. Ramiro over the top. Handball out to Scholl. Scholl breaks the Jarman tackle and then goes bang to goal and kicks it behind. 6-1 North Melbourne, their first point tonight.
Micken back to centre half forward for the Crows. Robrin back to the forward pocket. Certainly throwing their forward line around, trying to get a bit of a balance. Not quite happening for them at the present time.
Straight down the ground, Rouvray gets good distance into the centre square. Maynard was a big fly. Anderson, Tregenza, nice give. Jamison, bang to Modra, it was a good kick. Strong lead, well played Archer. That's going to be an interesting duel all night. Fairley, two excellent athletes there with Archer and Modra, and the Fairley kick out of play.
Well, great defensive work there from Archer. He knew he couldn't get to the football, so he whacked the hand of Modra. It was his only chance, and when you're up against a player out in front or taller, that's your only option.
Chance for North Melbourne to clear the ball from half back. High kick into the centre. Good effort, McDermott.
He's just a great player, McDermott.
Great leader. Probably had about 8 possessions already in this game. Kick it towards full forward. No mark taken. Robrin gets rid of the opposition. Shot for goal by Robrin. Wonderful kick. Second goal for Adelaide. First goal for Matthew Robrin. And the Crows trail. They're 2-5. North Melbourne is 6-1.
Yes, very talented, this young player, Matthew Robrin. What's the use of the body there? Gets rid of Martin. And cool as a cucumber, just dribbles one through, bringing Adelaide back into some sort of contention in this game. Don't be surprised if he gets a run in the ruck. Best on the ground, arguably last week in that position.
17-37, Adelaide coming back. Another one before quarter time would tighten it up. Jarman unable to. Laidley, well played. Wren to smother it. Schwass broke the McDermott tackle. That's not easy. Wren then put the tackle on Laidley. Suddenly Adelaide finding it. McGuinness charging to goal. Long drop punt. Modra sets himself. It'll go through. Another one.
Well, I think we've cut and we're expecting a terrific game, didn't we, Bruce? And we haven't been let down so far.
Well, he keeps up his average, Sherrod. He's kicked 156 goals, and this is his 156th match.
He's a fantastic player. How often is it that this man is the one that sparks Adelaide? He is one of their great keys, if not their most important player. Gets tagged every week. There we see Stevens really applying the pressure. It's been a pretty good battle so far. McGuinness just slightly on top. Great goal.
Interesting watching the two players there. I'm sure Tony McGuinness just eyeing off the umpire there to make sure that he was aware of Anthony Stevens tagging tactics at the centre bounce. Tregenza not able to do much with that football. And have a look at that scenery. Isn't that quite magnificent here in Adelaide? 20-6 our time. Boundary throw in. Up high McDermott. Allison and McGuinness. Throw-in will take place. Look at the crowd. It's just absolutely jam-packed.
Oh, it's a great football stadium, this one. When you're here, you know you're in for a game of football.
McDermott at the back. Micken won the tap. Ramiro's left foot kick around the body. Lee, good job. Oh, lovely take Maynard, but the tackle was good. North Melbourne have been excellent in that area. Free kick to Adelaide.
Yes, Adelaide will have to smarten up their footwork around the boundary throw-ins. North Melbourne are really reading the ruck work and taking the ball away consistently.
Laidley's been excellent in the opening term. He's kicked the centre wing. Tregenza outnumbered. And it was out of play. Was it?
I thought it was a good mark by Scholl.
I think he may have taken the second grab over the line. At least that's the way the umpire...
He took it very close to the ground. It's
the only way it could have been. He must have been second grab over the line, because it certainly was a mark.
What about the solid shepherd by Ross Smith at half back? I felt that from here.
They won't give anything here, the Crow supporters. They're saying it should have been back towards their goal about 5 metres.
Free kick to Adelaide. Advantage is played. Rashuto away. Montra provides the lead over the top. Oh, great! What a specky! It's a good game, isn't it?
It is terrific stuff.
Oh, that was wonderful. It was over the top and he stretched out the big paw.
Yes, it looked like he'd run under the ball. But this is a talented player. He was dragged last week in controversial circumstances, but we are told it was for disciplinary reasons. And really, you just cannot doubt this man's ability. Probably mark of the year last week, and that one wasn't far behind it.
Modra lining up for his second, and Adelaide steaming back. Drop punt, kicks it. He's got his eyes on Gary Ablett, and he's got his eyes on North Melbourne as Adelaide are steaming back at 4-5 to 6-1.
Yeah, so that one was just pure ability there from Modra. Archer applying plenty of pressure in the right position in front. With a quick kick coming down from the Crows. How often you see McDermott at the bottom of the pack starting it. Rashuto gets the ball long. I was expecting Martin to take that football. Up went the mitt and it stuck.
40 seconds left in the first quarter. 9 scoring shots for Adelaide, 7 for North Melbourne. Very entertaining first quarter at Football Park. Bounce favours Ischenko. Hand pass to no one in particular. McDermott somehow gets the ball back for Bickley. Back to McDermott. In turn, Lee. Have they got enough time to score? Lee's kick to the half-forward area. Mark has been taken by Ross Smith. Very solid defender for North Melbourne. Nice kick too. Out towards the wing. No mark taken. Rock gathers it quite nicely. Kicks into the centre of the ground. Seconds left. Ischenko. He's got a player loose at centre half forward. McGuinness getting back. Can't get back quick enough. German marks. And he has the chance to score. The siren will sound. There is the siren to end the first term. So Adelaide's scoreline will not alter. They're 4-5. It remains for Peter German to kick the ball from 40 metres out. Not a bad kick. It's close to the line. It's through for one behind. By gee, they're keen, these fans here in Adelaide. North Melbourne lead 6-2 to 4-5.
The name of the game is Australian.
Right now onto the edit. 25 minutes to 3. Don't forget we're going to be with you right through the 4 o'clock zone.
You can't change the situation. But how would you like a second chance to choose your time?
Can tyres make a difference?
Good you can.
25 degrees, it's a beautiful day and the surf's up, so...
The Gabba today, look at that at half-time. 124 to 4. In the end, Brisbane 33-21, 219 to 8-9-57. Murphy and Merritt got 8 each. Brisbane breaking all sorts of records there. And Gary Ablett maintained his stirring run against Richmond. Stirring if you're a Cat supporter. A dozen for Gary today. 19-14 to Richmond, 9-24. Same scoring shots, but a whopping margin to the Cats. Quarter time here. It's been a terrific opening term. Adelaide 4-5, North Melbourne 6-2.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
Well, Max, Graham Corns would have been ropeable at one stage in that term, trailing 5 goals to 4 points. What about at quarter time?
Well, firstly, Bruce, North Melbourne's Dennis Pagan made it very clear to the players that they won the first quarter, but they can't afford to relax, which happened at about that 20-minute mark. He said, you've got to get more physical. Now, Graham Corns, the work rate, it's got to lift. Too many easy balls going to North Melbourne. However, there were some positive signs in the closing stages, and Adelaide back in the ball game.
Modra's kicked a couple. 5 kicks and 11 handballs for McDermott in the opening term. 7 and 4 for Anderson. Laidley prominent, 6 and 2. 29 to 38. Wren just gets the tap, not much in it. Laidley off the ground. Tregenza and Allison. Tregenza holds his feet. McDermott almost took a slips catch. Jamison back to McGuinness, who had 6 touches in the opening term. Swings it out to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick to Rasciuto, got underneath it. Micken trying to lay it off and gets a free kick for a little shove in the back.
50 metres.
Well, North Melbourne led 5 goals to 4 points at one stage. Ross Smith giving away 50.
Bruce, North Melbourne really didn't dominate, even though they led 5 goals. Adelaide, I think I mentioned in that first term, they did have quite a use of the football. They're just messing around a little bit. As soon as Motra kicked that first goal, they got some sort of impetus, didn't they?
They sure did towards the end of the term too, Robbo, as they came steaming back. Micken's drop punt, hits the post, gives it a real rattle. Couple of points now. And the second time a poster for Adelaide. Jarman in the opening term. So 4-6-6-2.
Kick in by Ross Smith. Pretty well straight down the ground. Out there is Wren. Couldn't do much with it. Robran left it behind. Martin there for North Melbourne. Hand pass Laidley in trouble. Schwass. Tackled too high by McGuinness. Good smother Anderson on Stevens. Stevens close to the line, able to get around onto his left foot and kicks it into the centre of the ground where Big Alex has taken the mark. Gets the hand pass away, smothered well, but the tap on is okay. Ramiro's on the end of it. He's kicked directly towards goal. No mark taken. Ball at the back. Nigel Smart quick to recover and will clear for Adelaide to the far side of the ground. Out there is Jamison. Bounce is okay for him. Hand pass over the top. Tregenza loves to run with it. Forced to kick quickly. Up towards half forward where the youngster Rasciuto has marked on centre wing. Good kick too. Up close to 50 metres. Jarman interfering. Is going to receive the free kick. Looked to me as though he may have been the infringer there, but Andrew Jarman takes the kick. Pass. Archer up high. Martin handball away Laidley. And Laidley kicks across the face of goal. Here is Schwass. Tackled by Anderson. Ball runs free for German and back to Schwass. And Schwass will clear for North Melbourne.
Misses a group of 4 players. Bickley, well done. McDermott, who had a stirring opening term, charges away. Good-looking kick towards centre-half forward, but cutting it off Smith. Modric was about 5 metres behind, just waiting. Laidley away on the left foot. It's kicked towards the centre wing. Stevens, nice mark in front of McGuinness. Had some big roles this year, Stevens. Another one tonight. Lee sets himself. Rock's been a quiet player, named in the Victorian squad this week. Carey over the top. Handball was very good by Jamison to Tregenza. Now Liptak should do something with it. Lovely bit of play with McGuinness on the up as he goes to fall forward. Modra and Archer. Micken, well played. Modra handballs to McGuinness. McGuinness goes with the left foot and puts it through.
Oh, that's sensational footy, isn't it, Jared?
Great
stuff.
Great player, McGuinness. And there's danger signs now here for North Melbourne. When McGuinness gets his running shoes on, everybody is in trouble. In particular, North Melbourne at the present time. Bad luck once again there for Archer. Did everything right. Good give there from Modra, from McGuinness. And that's a great example of classic running in AFL football. Got the ball round the wing, got involved there and just persisted running through the lines, giving another option.
11 free kicks to Adelaide, 3 free kicks to North Melbourne. Kick towards half forward. Rasciuto leaves it. Liptak can't control it. Ball runs free. Off the ground fairly. Anderson caught. Must be penalised. Play goes on. Robran. Fairly the tackler. Umpire will bounce.
Yes, well, Anderson was caught there trying to evade his opponent, came back, ran himself back into trouble. Perhaps the handball was on. Good tackle there from Schwass, and that's a pretty good battle, Schwass and Anderson. Anderson clearly the winner, but in the first quarter, Schwass on top at the moment.
High tackle, Liptak's free kick.
It's 12-3 now, Bruce.
Liptak in a bit of trouble by the looks.
Picks himself up.
Tough little customer.
He is a medical student. Ross Smith.
Doesn't help you when you're the patient though, Bruce.
Sure doesn't. Now, big kick this one. Distance shouldn't be a problem, and he's going to kick from about 45. He missed one in the first quarter. He's kicked 53 goals in his 40 matches before tonight, so he averages about 1 1/4. Leans back, drop, punt, goal. Well, remarkably, and I say remarkably, the Crows are in front at 6-6 to 6-2.
I'm not surprised.
No, you reckon they were going just as well as North Melbourne when they were 5 goals
yes,
behind?
I think North were, well, they were kicking very, very accurately, weren't they? They were 5 straight.
They've probably been the dominant side on the park for the last 15 minutes of play. Last 10 minutes of the first quarter, first 5 of this one.
Adelaide lead by 4 points. The goal coming from Matthew Liptak. McGuinness has kicked 2 and Modra has kicked 2. For North Melbourne, Carey 2 and McAdam 2. Up towards half forward. At the back, Scholl can kick a goal and does kick a goal. Craig Scholl kicks his first goal for North Melbourne and the Kangaroos hit back.
Yes, did it exceedingly well there. Surprise selection up on the half-forward flank. Probably there because they've wanted Jamison there. He would have been his match-up before the game. But Craig Scholl doing particularly well, and that was a magnificent goal. The problem for North Melbourne at the moment is they are not giving McDermott enough respect. Rock and German have been his opponents. He's on the ball full-time, and he's dominating, particularly in the centre bounces.
Big Alex Ischenko. The bounce favours him. He takes it out of the air and gets past Wren. Hand pass. Tregenza is there. Little kick off the ground. Rock kicks it to half forward. Mark is taken for North Melbourne by Carey. Could nearly score from here, Wayne Carey, if he gets onto this kick. Good distance into the square. Longmire taken by Roberts. Down he goes. He's caught with a footy and he will be penalised. Still, Adelaide continue to receive the OK from the umpires. Free kick going back to Scott Lee. Umpire John Russo in charge down there.
We couldn't complain with that one. I thought Roberts was trying to break the tackle.
Fair free kick, yep. It doesn't look good with the numbers though, Gerard, does it? About 15 to 3 or 15 to 4.
Yes, but taking that a bit further, Robbo, there's no real logical reason why free kicks should ever be even, although that's the way it appears almost every Saturday and Sunday that we play football these days.
In fact, you North Melbourne fans sitting at home in Melbourne watching it, I don't think they'd be prepared to agree that it's that lopsided though, is it? Lee's kick in towards half-back. No mark taken by Wren. Quick kick by Stevens in towards centre half-back. Tregenza caught. Stevens in there. Little kick off the ground. McDermott. Sweeping hand pass into the path of Hart. Away for Lee. And the runners from the back line have done it very nicely. Up towards half-forward, but a good mark taken by Smith for the Kangaroos. A hand pass away for Laidley.
To centre half forward, Wren at the back. Longmire, first real touch for him tonight. And not effective. Anderson to Bickley. Bickley swings the handball. Maynard gets a good bounce. Does it cleverly. Centering kick okay. Prosciutto set himself and gets a free kick.
Longmire limping behind play, has been pushed out to centre half forward. Now he's swapping again with Carey, so they're throwing it around North Melbourne.
Modra provided the first lead. Prosciutto goes to Robran. And a good, clever mark by Robran against Martin. It was a juggler in a way, but he was always in the front spot on Martin there. Kicked a beautiful goal in the first quarter.
And here's the Mark Henry play. Martin applying pretty good pressure. Very talented young man.
Robran to kick from 40 metres, drop punt. Good looking kick. Goal. 2 to Robran. And maybe, Gerard, that's the answer that you were looking for before the match. Who besides Modra could kick 3 or 4 goals? Adelaide needing someone else.
Well, it certainly appears that way at the present time. My thought would have been Jamison. He has kicked a bag full. In fact, he was leading goal kicker here a couple of years ago. But Robran, we've never doubted his talent. He has had trouble producing at the present time, but the last 2 games have been probably his best for the Crows.
Adelaide lead by 4 points. Second goal of the evening to Matthew Robran. Big Alex gets the ball clear for Ramiro. Ramiro's quick kick up towards half forward. Taken by Longmire. Looks for the hand pass for Carey. He's in trouble. Most definitely, Gerard. Roubre gets clear, kicks it up towards the wing, goes past Dean Laidley. He gets in there to effect the Shepherd for Fairley. Hand pass over the top, ineffective. Brilliant football by Scott Lee. Bickley. Micken. Oh, the combination. Liptak in there as well. Lee's kick towards half forward. Oh, nearly a mark to Modra. Jarman kicks for goal, and that is absolutely sensational stuff. By golly, football's alive and well at Footy Park tonight, Bruce.
Stirring stuff, Bono, no doubt about that. He's Paul Longmire's off the ground. What a goal.
Yes, good goal to Jarman, one of the wizards here at Football Park. He's been down a little bit today, getting a number of possessions now, though. Climbing onto the ground. And now it's North Melbourne that are under siege, and there's no worse place, perhaps Victoria Park, in football than to be under siege.
So Longmire really hurting himself there. Adelaide has kicked 7 of the last 8 goals. Longmire 33 goals for the season, sitting on the interchange. Yashenko gets a free kick out of the centre. Oh, Smart went early.
Oh, had to be a free.
Off the ground, Pyman. Still Pyman off the ground and through for a behind. North Melbourne up to 7-3 to 8-6.
Well, it certainly looked like a free kick there to Carey. Smart did jump early, retarded Carey from jumping at the football, so it had to be a penalty.
Hopefully Max will give us a report shortly on Longmire. Tregenza takes it. Big test now for North Melbourne, top of the table. They're playing for top spot tonight. Collingwood take it if they don't win. They jumped Adelaide, and now Adelaide is challenged. Maynard goes wide to Wren. Adelaide on a real roll. Modra long lead. In front, takes it on the chest.
Isn't that big guy very, very skillful? That was a terrific kick.
50 metres with power and hitting him on the chest.
And he didn't alter his stride, the full forward, did he?
But the disappointment for North Melbourne here was that lead wasn't cut off there. We saw Ross Smith and Laidley, it was, coming across on screen. Just didn't read it quite well enough. They have been doing a good job. Modra now going for his 3rd goal.
Kicks from about 45 metres, drop punt. And he's just pushed it across for a behind. Needs 6 goals tonight. I know there are more important things than this, but he does need 6 to tie Ablett for the top goal kicker in the competition. Longmire, Max Stevens.
John Longmire has a problem with his right shin. Very cooperative, North Melbourne. They've told me that a little bit of treatment, he'll be available to come back on.
Adelaide get the ball forward again. High flyer was Modra. Kicked back by Smith. Marking contest. Anderson is there with Stevens. Can't get his foot to the ball effectively. In goes Schwass. Good little tap on by Jarman. Free kick has been picked out. It will go to Anderson. The indiscretion maybe against Wayne Schwass. Anderson, who loves to kick the ball long distances, goes to the front of the square. Punch by Micken was disciplined. Robert! Modra! Snapshot goal! Well, this is just fantastic footy by the Adelaide Crows. They've lost 3 games in a row in the competition. They were under the hammer, and particularly in the first 15 minutes when North Melbourne kicked 5 straight.
Yes, it's 4 goals to 1 in this quarter, and North Melbourne are going to have to shore up their defences. The best way of defence, of course, is to attack. They need to get the ball out of the centre.
Definitely injured, by the way, Modra. You have a look at him. He's nowhere near 100% at the moment, not moving well at all. He's kicked 3 goals. Sorry, Jared. 9-7, 7-3. Centre square. Wren, what happened there? Yashenko able to take it away. Rock, who's been very quiet. McAdam, who created some magic in the opening term. Hart. McDermott, not a good option, but Hart had the skill to take Roberts on and run away from him. Adelaide is on fire. Now that is cheeky. Really cheeky. Allison got it in front of Jamison. And they might pay for this. Scholl. McAdam, Hart runs across, and McAdam upset there, but Hart is too easy in there. And Jarman is certainly lifted. Goes bang. Good-looking kick. Running in late was Laidley. Good spoil out of play.
Fantastic defensive work there from Laidley. Left his man Liptak to work out of his comfort zone and assist in the defence. And that's been the difference between North Melbourne of this year and that of last. They're working hard for each other outside their own comfort zones.
The ball on centre wing, forced forward, taken by Lee. Lee's kick back towards half forward for Adelaide. Out comes Fairley. Tackled, but gets his foot to the ball and kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. And a terrific leap by Roberts. He marks over the top of the pack just wide of the centre circle. He kicks it inside 50 metres.
Fantastic use of the body.
Terrific stuff by Wayne Carey. Got rid of Smart and has taken the mark about 40 metres from goal. He's kicked 2.
Yes, in the context of the game, this is a very important shot at goal. North Melbourne need to just balance it a little bit at the present time. Only kicked 1 this quarter. And this could be vital because the Crows are on a roll.
Wayne Carey. Nice long kick, but it's just off to the right. It is a goal, is it, Gerald?
No, just a point.
Just a point. Yep. Carey 2 goals, 1. And Hart to kick it back into play.
Very short, but okay to Anderson, who's had a ton of kicks. Into the centre square. German was a sitting shot. North Melbourne just fumbling for a moment, but Smith did that very well. And then goes to the 40-metre mark. Wren in the front spot, Carey at the back. Roberts, good tackle by Rouvray. Anderson, McDermott, who's been outstanding. Jamison, Rashuto, swings it wide. North Melbourne can cut it off. Well played, Ramiro. The defensive action again good. Back to half forward. McGuinness stops, props, changes direction. Well, Wren probably shouldn't have given it back. McGuinness has got the pace to get around. Then onto his right foot. He's exhausted, McGuinness, to centre wing.
Free kick down the ground, Bruce. Wash came in late on McGuinness, had the bumper bar up. Wasn't anything too malicious about it, but certainly was there to free.
Tregenza. Robin at the back. Martin in the front spot. Still Robin to Micken. Awkward looking kick. Here's Modra. Still Modra. Modra goes for goal, and Laidley well played. He's been an excellent defender, hasn't he, tonight?
My word, very effective, Dean Laidley. North Melbourne under extreme pressure. The kick goes wide, but it's disallowed. It's going to have to come back to the North Melbourne defender, and he'll have to do it all over again. 9-7 plays 7-4. More than halfway through the second quarter. It was 6-2 North Melbourne to 4-5 Adelaide at quarter time. Kick goes back out towards half-back. Martin and Jarman. Martin clears a path for Pyman. His kick goes towards centre wing. Roberts quick to recover. Little kick off the ground was very good. Ramiro's gone. Caught by Rouvray. Lip tack Jarman. Combination magnificent. Hand passing. Slip hands. Finishes with McDermott. His pass towards full forward. He's got it, I think, the young full forward. No, he hasn't. Archer's been tackled. In comes Micken. Little kick off the ground. Laidley is there again. Ever reliable. Dean Laidley goes one way and then kicks it back across the face of goal. And the mark is taken by German,
who keeps it wide. Stevens and McGuinness. Handball by Stevens. Schwass. And there's probably one player who has to lift Schwass because they've been getting so much from him this year and not so much tonight.
Now Anderson is on top in that duel. Schwass has been one of their best players for the season. Needs to lift, as you say, Bruce.
Ashenko over the back. Maynard to Liptak. Good looking kick. What a wonderful kick by Liptak. And Modra's certainly not 100%, but he is capable of running and marking and hopefully from Adelaide's point of view kicking a goal.
We've seen this piece of action a number of times this year. Liptak just throwing the ball out to a vacant forward line, and not much you can do there, Glenn Archer. Good mark to Modra.
Well, what a season he's had. 10 goals, 6 goals, 6 goals, 5, 7 and 5. And in some of those matches he's kicked, well, in one in particular, in 2, he's kicked more than half of Adelaide's goals. Lining up for number 4. Kicks from about 48 metres. Drop punt. It looks good. It is.
The controversial drug they call the miracle cure has been hailed in the United States as the fountain of youth. hormonal replacement therapy is now sweeping Australia.
It is a very big business.
New research shows startling results. We examine the benefits to Australian women and men.
Certainly hormone replacement therapy saves sanity, but now I have to say it also saves lives.
A series of special reports starts Monday night at 6.
21 points the advantage for Adelaide after trailing by 9 points at quarter time. So their second term has been very, very good. Umpire calls for a bounce once again from that recommencement. Centre breaks, not much in that. Certainly the hand passes of Adelaide have been far more effective. Very slick. Bickley beaten for it. Away goes Ramiro. Forced to kick with the left foot up towards the goal front. Getting back is Smart. He may give away a behind. No, he doesn't. Carey appealing for a free kick. Not forthcoming. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for North Melbourne.
Pretty sloppy kick into attack there from Romero. His last two possessions have both should have been better.
John Longmire with his right knee heavily bandaged. Doesn't look too good for North Melbourne.
No wonder they were so cooperative with Max down there. They told him it was a shin. Telling blowflies down there.
Yes, it has to be fairly severe for him to come off as quickly as he did. Not a good sign when you've got your knee heavily bandaged, Gerard. Rouvray kicks the ball wide to the right back pocket region. Tregenza off the ground. Ellison on the full, was it? Free kick to Adelaide. Everything going their way at the moment. Tregenza has the football in the right back pocket.
Yeah, Robert, you know you're out of luck when something like that happens. Attacking the ball with Tregenza and it comes off the boot. Nishenko should take it. That Jarman gave him a little shove. Nishenko unable to. Trying to barge through was Laidley, who's high on North Melbourne's best players. Rock gets one of his few touches. It didn't go anywhere. Good hip and shoulder, McDermott. And I reckon you go back, Jared, to that mark McDermott took against the odds when he kicked the ball to the pocket and Robin kicked the goal. Remember the mark he took here?
Yep.
Great courage, and it lifted Adelaide. And from that was their second goal. And from that moment on, they have dominated. It was a wonderful bit of play by the captain. He falls over the ball this time.
There's a player. Get a definition there. I thought when you threw yourself on the ball like that and dragged it back in underneath that you can be penalised for holding the ball.
Well, that's what the rule states, but a little bit more interested in the wing players for North Melbourne. They've put German, it is now, on Anderson. Swass looks to have an on-ball role.
Nishenko gets a hurried kick away. Carey and Smart. Still Carey, oh, great skills. Left-hand handball was a beauty. And Clarkson had it smothered. Adelaide playing well. It goes to Nishenko. Gee, a goal here for Adelaide would really hurt North. Maynard chips it. Oh, Rashuto should have taken it. Tried the one hand. Maynard sits and waits. Gives a little handball out, hoping for McGuinness. The hip and shoulder by Rock was a good one. We know he can give those out. Just ask the Hawk from Footscray. And well done for North, because a goal there would have really hurt after they'd had what looked to be a goal set up at the other end.
Yes, most certainly, Bruce. Here's Anthony Rock getting the ball back. Smith was looking before he actually kicked the football then, and the ball slewing off the side of his boot over for a boundary throw-in. Keen supporters here in Adelaide. Full house at Football Park. Micken hanging on fairly. Taken McDermott. German's hand pass ineffective. Goes back after it again. Tries to tap it to the advantage of Rock. Rock is close to the boundary line. Gets good distance up towards half forward. Kick off the ground by Pyman. Also kicked off the ground there by Bickley. And the Adelaide fans pretty happy with that. Just in the right half forward flank region, about 65 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. The tap goes to Lee. Probably a bad option there. He hesitated ever so slightly. Rock kicks it to the front of the goals. Smart gets down in front. Chance for Ramiro. Snapshot is a goal. So well done there by Jose Ramiro, doing the roving in the forward line. Kicks his first goal. But more importantly for North Melbourne, they just hang in there. 10-7 Adelaide, 8-4 North Melbourne.
Yes, things were getting out of control for North Melbourne. They were fast becoming non-competitive in this game. Although 4 or 5 goals is not much in normal circumstances, it is here at Football Park in South Australia. They need another one quickly.
Back to 15 points, 10-7-8-4. Another Kangaroo goal before half-time would close this game right up again. We get back to square one. It was North Melbourne early. They led 5 goals. Dennis Pagan looking on. And what a dream start he's had to his senior AFL coaching career. North Melbourne led by 26 points at one stage, and Adelaide turned that round to lead by 21 points. Wren, well played by Pyman to tap it forward. Quick kick away by Clarkson. McAdams left foot, bouncing baller behind. 2 goals to McAdam. They were both outstanding in different ways. He's got 2-1, and North Melbourne up to 8-5, Adelaide 10-7. Ben Hart to bring it back in, the 18-year-old who hasn't missed a match since he's made his debut at the beginning of last year. In fact, Adelaide have got a couple of players who've got quite remarkable records. Maynard's played 51 straight games, all of the Adelaide games. Lee and McDermott have only missed the one. Smart goes back to Hart. Hart chips it wide. He's looking for Maynard with the stretch. Good spoil by Allison. Schwartz running onto it. Keeps it in play. Swings it back to Ramiro. People stopping and standing just for a moment. Ramiro's kick and a lovely mark taken by Ben Hart.
A very good player.
Ramiro just once again kicking blindly without any thought into the forward line, giving it back to the Crows.
McDermott, the architect, around the centre of the ground. Gives it to Maynard. Maynard's kick in towards full forward. Gathered by Modra was pretty good. Little kick off the ground by Ross Smith. Here's McGuinness into the action again. In trouble. Gets the ball back for Tregenza. Tregenza's kicked in front of the goal. Jarman nearly took a one-hander. The ball there in front of the Adelaide goal. And the umpire will be forced to bounce as Dean Laidley appeals for the free kick. And Liptak picks himself up at the finish. Dust up behind
the other side of the ground, yes. McGuinness involved.
Yep. Stevens, Tregenza. Umpire goes on with the business. Bounce in front of the Adelaide goal. Chance for Allison to get the ball clear. He does. A quick kick back to the centre of the ground. The mark is taken for Adelaide by Wren.
He's had an influence, hasn't he, Wren? Stats won't look great, but what he's done has been good. Now, Rodman goes for a lead to the pocket. Martin in the front spot. Rodman, little hip and shoulder. Gets rid of Martin, out of play. 2 goals to Rodman, 4 to Modra, couple to McGuinness.
You couldn't get better conditions, could you? Ground in perfect condition, no breeze, and players playing wonderful football.
Micken won the tap. Stevens over the top. Still Stevens. McGuinness will claim him. Off the ground by Allison. McDermott. Rasciuto keeps it in. 60 metres out. McDermott. This will be hot. Got rid of it. Rasciuto there. Smith well played. Over the top of it. Goes towards the boundary line and gets it.
Longmire coming back on the ground. Pyman coming off. And Swats has now been placed on to McDermott. Big challenge for Swats. He's been picked in the Victorian side. The big challenge, of course, is to lift when you've been down in the early part of the game.
Quick kick by Allison. Ishenko. Wren. Bickley should provide a shepherd. He does. Wren just chips it away. Back to McDermott. Clearly the big possession getter in the first half.
Well, it's 16 in the first quarter, wasn't it, Bruce, I think?
5 and 11, Robbo.
Kick by Stevens was smothered. His second attempt was all right, but the mark taken by Tregenza between wing and half forward for Adelaide. Getting a few touches also, Simon Tregenza. Adelaide. The kick goes up towards full forward, punched away by Martin. And over for a throw in about 40 metres, perhaps a little closer from the Adelaide goal. Michael Martin looks as though he's done 15 rounds with Mike Tyson. Micken. Clarkson. Oh, snaffled by Liptak. And he misses to the right-hand side. 1 goal, 2 to Matthew Liptak. And Adelaide progressed to 10-8. North Melbourne 8-5. Just 2 minutes left in the first half.
Laidley at centre half back into the centre square. Roberts free kick there going to Wren, is it? To McDermott. Chips it up. Jarman caught underneath. Clarkson in the front spot. Jarman keeps his hands off. Archer kicks it out of the hands of Clarkson, goes towards the boundary line. Rashuto under pressure. Well done. Tregenza, the tackle by Allison was a beauty. Going to ground, McGuinness. Fans want a free kick, not really there that time. Quick kick away. Only as far as Bickley, though. He might have taken his eye off it with Stevens running hard.
Got a free kick, Bruce.
Does he?
Yep.
Goes back. Bickley. Ever reliable, this fellow. He's
a goer, isn't he?
He's underrated. Maybe not in this city, but terrific player. His centering kick. Rothburn and also Modra there with Scholl. Cleans up nicely. Round the body. Back towards the centre. Nice take by German. North Melbourne just steadying for the moment. Another goal before half-time would be invaluable. Carey, lovely mark. The top mark taker in the competition. Straight on. Here's a chance. Lovely play by Carey, and Roberts, who we've seen already is a beautiful kick, is well within distance to put through his second and North Melbourne's ninth within a minute of the first half concluding. So Carey and McAdam have got a couple each. Longmire's missed out, he's been injured. Roberts has got one. Good looking kick off the boot, gives it a bit of a hook, coming back, looks all right. Goal. So he keeps his average up, Gerard, a couple of goals a match and a little more. 2 to Roberts, and North has done really well in the last couple of minutes here to sneak back at Adelaide at 9-5 to 10-8.
Yes, so North Melbourne were perhaps questioned in their judgment for letting McCarthy go, but they have had a player that's bobbed up and replaced his role, and that's Mark Roberts. Does very well as a mobile ruckman, and particularly well as a bit of a goal sneak. And his record this year of 18 goals has proven that.
So it was 9 points in North Melbourne's favour at quarter time. At the moment, Adelaide lead by 9 points, close to half time. Ramiro gets a kick out. Goes to right half forward. The race is on. Ben Hart bounces awkward for him. Gets the hand pass back for McDermott. Kick off the boot, smothered ever so slightly, and goes for a throw-in just forward of the wing in North Melbourne's attacking half.
McDermott was the highest possession winner last year, and it's no wonder. They always, opposition clubs, putting their attentions towards McGuinness on screen and Jarman. McDermott just runs around willy-nilly picking up possession after possession.
Not much time left. North Melbourne will clear right on the half-time siren through Fairley. And there is the siren to end the first half in this entertaining clash at Football Park. Adelaide lead by 9 points there, 10-8 after being 4-5 at quarter time. North Melbourne 9-5, 59. Adelaide by 9 points.
Modra's got 4 and McGuinness, Robran 2 each, and for North Melbourne 2 goals to Roberts, McAdam and Carey. So at half-time at Football Park before a full house, it's the Crows 68, the Kangaroos 59.
The name of the game is Australian.
And the savings are kicking on. Like Softex toilet rolls 4-pack, $1.39. International roast coffee dropped to just $3.49. Sunshine cream biscuits only 59 cents. Flora Margarino winner at just $1.19. Foodland fresh carrots 1 kilo bag 99 cents. And Score Blade bowler roast just $3.99 a kilo.
Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Last Wednesday on Scratch and Win, Merv Drogger Muller won $9,400. And was he happy?
That makes me happy.
And there's more instant money to be won, so buy your ticket and be watching Wednesday night after 7 nightly news.
I feel as if someone just walked over my grave.
A perfect romance, a fairy tale wedding.
He's going to make it?
But now their future lies in ruins.
What's happened to Barry?
When a car accident turns 3 lives upside down. A country practice Monday.
It was a terrific quarter for Adelaide, but significantly North Melbourne kicked the last 2 goals of the quarter, and at half-time we've got a thriller at Football Park. Hope you're enjoying it. It's 10-8 Adelaide and North Melbourne 9-5. And Gerard Healy, it's been a game of such fluctuating fortunes, it's hard to know which way it's going to go.
Well, it's been fantastic, and it's not hard to get excited about a game here at Football Park, and these two sides are really turning it on for everyone at home, and for particularly the crowd here. North Melbourne looked unstoppable in the first quarter, but back came the Crows with a burst that we've seen them do so often here at Football Park, and the game is certainly up for grabs in the second half. The stats in the second quarter Well, kicks were pretty even, as were the handballs. Adelaide slightly in favour. The centre breaks is the big issue there, which is unbelievable because North Melbourne have taken it away. But Adelaide obviously starting many of their forward thrusts across half-back. There's the match stats. Once again, Adelaide well down in the centre breaks, and you'd think that Wren is probably getting the first hand of the football. So North Melbourne roving quite well. And the free kicks there, unbelievable. Adelaide 19 to North Melbourne 4. There'll be something said about that in the press later.
And 40 more handballs. There were no cheat from the umpire or from the crowd tonight as the umpires went off at half-time. Adelaide leading in a thriller. Well, the Man of the Year segment coming up. It's been pretty popular throughout this year. This fellow made a big impact when he came across from North Melbourne to play for Woodville.
McDonald's presents The Man and the Year.
The man, Noel Teasdale, and his year was 1965. It was the year the 4 times North Melbourne best and fairest tied for the Brownlow medal. Noel Teasdale played 178 games for North Melbourne from 1956 to 67. His claim to fame, other than his tireless ability, came in 2 forms. Firstly, he tied with Ian Stewart in the 1965 Brownlow medal, but lost on a countback. 25 years later, he received a retrospective medal.
Oh, doesn't that feel good?
Now I can see that I'm a winner of the Brownlow medal. It's written in the papers, it's written in records, and in particular the records. And that night that we had to share with our family and new friends was just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
When his VFL career ended, Teasdale moved to South Australia, where he captain coached Woodville in the late 60s and early 70s. These days, he still coaches Port Elliot in the Great Southern League, some 80 kilometres from Adelaide.
Thoroughly enjoy it. It's just something, I think, once it's in your blood, it's very hard to get out of it. And I just enjoy seeing young people develop as footballers and as men.
But his biggest claim to fame is perhaps not the one he wants to be remembered for. In 1964, he clashed heads with teammate Ken Dean and fractured his skull. 4 weeks later, he became the first player in the VFL to wear headgear.
It's funny, you know, even a few of the opposition players really did have a go at the headgear by pulling it, aiming at it, and that sort of thing. And that used to be very frustrating for me and very annoying.
Today, living south of Adelaide, Noel Teasdale is a Crow supporter, but he'll never forget his days at Arden Street.
It's the name of the game.
There are all sorts of claims being made about light beers these days. So what's so special about Foster's Special?
The Crows by 9 points over the Kangaroos at half-time. Let's take a look now at the plays of the month. Sandy Roberts and Warren Smith putting together April.
The name of the game is Australian.
Yes, the name of the game is Australian, but the name of this game is to try and avoid being featured in Plays of the Month. And one man who can't do that is Carlton's Dora, John Dorotich, who after booting the ball a massive 2 metres, desperately tried to make amends, only to be pinged for his blatant attempt at a scoop. Bad luck, Dora. But if he should hang his head in shame, so too should the Bomber cheer squad, because not only did they construct a banner that Superman would struggle to break through, they also somehow managed to misspell the name of their beloved team. The Bomb Rays. Perhaps they're thinking of relocating, maybe in Mexico? What do you think of that, hombres? Jared Healy catches up with some unusual characters during his boundary reports, but none more bizarre than our replacement for the comeback kid, Tim Watson. I guess that gives new meaning to the phrase skeleton start. To the misses of the season, and Steve Tingay somehow failed to register a score from point-blank range, while St. forward Stuart Lowe, try as he might, just couldn't manage to get boot to ball. One of the clashes of April occurred when Lawrence Bingham and Gavin Brown met head-to-head. Fortunately, neither was seriously hurt. The same couldn't be said about Brown's teammate Glenn Sanford, who after colliding with the goalpost went down like a sheep with the staggers. But he wasn't alone. This boundary umpire had no chance of staying upright when he was skittled by the human bowling ball Matthew Dundas. But some things never change in football, like the Collingwood mascot, continually frightening the life out of little magpies. Mascots like that really should be sent to Don Scott's School of Charisma, if they can get in. But one incident that caught everyone by surprise was the clash between Tony McGuinness and his own trainer.
McGuinness moves for him. Amongst the trainers, one of his own. Get the stretcher this time. Oh, McGuinness gave him one. Can he be reported for that? I'm not sure. His own trainer frowns over the ball. I've never seen that before. It was a sharp, wet jab, unless I'm very much mistaken.
Well, watch this. Tony McGuinness, bang. If it had been the Richmond trainer, he would have got life.
And if you think football isn't about emotion, then check out Michael Martin and Peter Carey, who with this performance make it into Plays of the Month.
They're out there again tonight. Michael Martin and Peter Carey. Sandy Roberts with editor Warren Smith. The plays for April. Back with the second half coming up shortly. Before we go to the break, the name of the game.
It's the name of the game. The name of the game. It's the name of the game. The name of the game is Australian.
There are a lot of colourful claims being made by light beers these days. So what's so special about Foster's Special?
The days
You're morally bankrupt, Alan. Oh, that's rich, isn't it? Coming from someone whose father was actually convicted of sheep worrying.
Seven's outrageous new comedy hour. The New Statesman, right after Full Frontal, 9:30 Thursday.
Don't forget, State of Origin commences June 1. Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia play WA on June 2, the final on the Saturday. Again, check your local guides for details of the coverage of the AFL State of Origin series. Max Stevens has been down. He's been listening to North Melbourne and to Adelaide. And what's Graham Corn saying, Max?
Thanks very much, Bruce. They've got the music blaring and it's freezing down here. Adelaide getting some much-needed system back into their game. We haven't seen that for about 3 weeks. Robrin and Micken giving great assistance, whether it's centre-half forward or in the pocket, but they must keep the pressure on for the whole quarter. Not 20 minutes, but for 25 plus the time on. Now, Corn's very, very vocal during the break. North Melbourne, the players went straight into the coach's room. One player suggesting that after a couple of wins, they've become a pack of lares and they must get back to the job in hand. Now, John Longmire, his problem is just below the knee and above the shin. He'll be monitored closely for the remainder of the game.
Thanks for that, Max Stevens. As we take a look at some individuals with Tony McGuinness, Gerard, 7 and 5.
Yes, and I thought it was his goal in the first quarter that was one of the reasons why Adelaide lifted. A very talented player. Stevens doing a pretty good job on him, however. And there's his statistics. 9 possessions, a pretty good tagger. Had an important role in their win last week against Footscray. A good find for North Melbourne. Greg Anderson has been one of the best players on the ground. Slaughtered Swass in the first half. Swass had a moment there in the early part of the second quarter where he got in front. And there's his statistics. 8 possessions, not good enough for Wayne Swass. He needs to lift in the second half. Well, if you make a mistake by underestimating this man, he will chop you up. He gets the ball out of the centre. He's at the foot of every pack, and he is the one that gets the Crows running. 26 possessions in a half is extraordinary. Peter German, well, he and Rock have had the task on McDermott. 13 possessions isn't too bad statistically, but when you consider that McDermott is slaughtering them, well, you have to question the value of German at this stage.
McDermott, who's been down, it was suspected that he had a broken rib. He kept denying it over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's been playing with it and done well tonight. McAdam, a couple of goals.
But you must have pressure on McDermott at the bottom of every pack. He's so quick with his hands. You must, like Collingwood last week, they had Mick McGuan on him. You can work off him if you have a player with a little bit of pace, a bit of goal sense, to push up into attack when you've got the football. You can turn it into a plus. Now I'd see Wayne Swass is manning him up again. There he is on screen. The result of this battle in the second half will go a long way to determining the result. And Bruce, I'd just like to point out that North Melbourne were beaten by St Kilda at Waverley in their only loss this year. And they're looking just a little bit down on the ability to run on these big grounds. It'll be interesting to see how they go in the second half. But if you're trying to pick a side to beat North Melbourne, I think you'd throw every runner you had into the side.
Start of the second half. It's an outstanding first half of football. 10-8 to 9-5. Big stakes to play for tonight. North to hold top spot, Adelaide to go into the 6. That's the reward at the end of tonight's match for one of the two teams. Lee gives it off to Jamison as North went forward. Maynard sat back on it a bit, chips it away towards Rashuto. Nice play by the youngster, just 17 years of age, and that chip pass is okay. Liptak should run on. Delivers towards Modra. Almost a spectacular diving mark.
Well, he's in the same class as Dunstall on those big dives. And I see John Longmire back on the ground, which is good news for North Melbourne, being picked up by Rouvray.
Buckley getting stripped just for the moment as we see Gerard coming off. He hasn't had a run, I don't think. Pyman has. Here's Schwass, who you mentioned earlier, having a big job on McDermott. Well, not a good kick, and straight to McDermott with the Schenko running into him. But that won't worry Captain Courageous.
Oh, he's terrific, isn't he, Chris McDermott? He really is the epitome of the Adelaide Crows. He's kicking towards centre-half forward. High leap. Gee, that's a great mark. Tony Modra.
And both players are claiming it, I think, but it had to be Modra's, didn't it?
Well, I'm sure we'll get another look at it, but it was a fantastic leap.
He's just got the boot out there. Well, you'd have to give Robran the assist.
Well, the mark has been paid to the third man in line, who's Tony Modra, as North Melbourne make that change. Looks like Laidley coming off, which is a bit of a surprise. I thought he played a fair first half. Here's Modra going for goal number 5, and a good start to the second half for Adelaide. 5 goals won to the young full forward. He's pretty happy with himself, and little wonder.
Yeah, so he ought to be. He's Mr. Excitement here in Adelaide, and Buckley's gone onto the ground. He's gone straight to pick up Liptak. I thought he was being well held there by Laidley. But we see it differently to coaches up here in the media box.
Archer and Modra together. Adelaide stretched the lead, 74 to 59. McDermott, Lee, and Schenko over the top. Jarman tries to get through. Schwass gets his second kick for the quarter. Allison, who started very well. Jamison, well played. McDermott made one of his rare errors. Had the strength to, well, maybe throw it away. Tregenza's had his best match for a lot of weeks. To Lee, Mickham went early. Buckley coming onto the ground. Liptak, Ross Smith. Adelaide and North Melbourne both at it, and Smith over the top.
We saw this last week, Bruce. Laidley came off the ground against Footscray just for a quick chat on the phone, and then burst back onto the ground, and I assume that's what's going to happen because he's back up on the interchange bench.
McDermott to Tregenza. Kick doesn't go very far. Allison tried to get rid of Liptak, did it all right. Archer, left foot. Scholl just got rid of Tregenza. Well, gee, I thought he hurled that. Unlucky not to get it. Scholl at half-back. Back towards the centre wing. Wren in the box seat. Stretches high, unable to take it. Ramiro's kick not in danger. Stevens off the ground. Now Carey.
Carey and Smart. Smart able to keep his footing. Held by Carey by the leg. And the umpire spotting just that. So the free kick will go to Smart.
Buckley back off the ground, Robbo.
Short kick. Jamison. Up towards the centre wing region. McDermott.
Not easy for Buckley, is it? When you go on for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, same happened last week. Fagan obviously quite happy with Laidley. Just wanted to fine-tune what was happening there.
Away goes Rock. Rock's kick. Inside 50 metres. Marking contest. Out comes Rouvray. Allison. Just a little tentative there, Brett Allison, letting Scott Lee make the play, and it's held up at left half forward for North Melbourne. Kicked the first goal of the second half, the Adelaide Crows, and they lead at the moment, 11-8 to 9-5. Ruck contest, Eschenko down to Rock. Rock's quick kick, up towards full forward, marking contest. No one can control the football. At ground level, Carey gets it back in the McAdam direction. Through goes Stevens. Shrugs the tackle, he's gone. Longmire. Ball still there. Difficult. Aerial ping pong as Scott Lee bashes it over the top of his head. In goes McGuinness. Back onto the favoured left foot. Short pass effective and gets it clear for Tregenza.
McDermott tells him off screen to hold it up. Go back steady. Laidley in the box seat. Nice stretch. Good mark. From centre wing. To centre half forward. Carey running out. Oh, Bickley with courage. At least stop the Carey charge. Smart. Ball held to him. Bounce down at centre half forward. North in attack.
Forward line has looked fairly clustered at the present time, North Melbourne. No system whatsoever.
Schenko just got rid of Wren. Smart might have got a boot from Lee as Roberts goes, and does he kick his third? He does. 3 goals to Roberts. And North hang in. Very much a part of the action still, the Kangaroos in this game, 11-8 to 10-5.
Mark Roberts has been the shining light. Once again, we just see a goal coming without much system. Bashing the ball forward. Roberts took it out of the ruck. Did it pretty well. Good individual performance there from Mark Roberts, who has kicked 3 goals. One of North Melbourne's better at forwards.
Big Ischenko doing a good job for North Melbourne at the centre bounces. And once again, the umpire will bounce. 19.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Umpires Carey and Russo officiating this evening. Wren got rid of by Ischenko. Jarman trying to just hold it up a little bit. Scholl kick towards half forward. Carey beaten for it by Smart. No, he's not. He's got back into the action very well there. And Rouvray's tackle was effective, holding it up about 40 metres from the North Melbourne goal. So still a football game to be won here by either side. Adelaide leading at the moment by 9 points. Ruck contest, Big Wren gets into it. Stevens is there, shot for goal by Stevens. Is pretty close, but registers just to behind. Anthony Stevens, who's had a big job trying to run with Tony McGuinness. McGuinness has got away from him on a few occasions. He's kicked 2 goals. Number 11 there for Adelaide, Tony McGuinness, but Anthony Stevens sticking to his guns pretty well as Ben Hart prepares to kick it back into play. Player very close to the boundary line out here on this near side is Bickley, getting away from McAdam. You have 2 players to try and mine for that kick in. Might be 50 metres nearly.
Yes, a good set play there from the Crows, taking out the zone defence of North Melbourne.
Mickham was on a lead. Rock out of play. Centre wing. It's a hush around the ground for the moment. Calm before the storm maybe. 11-8, 10-6. Nothing in this. It's a close call. The odds would be as they started. Adelaide's slightest of favourites. Fairley's kick into the centre square. Free kick to Schwass against Lee. Just hanging on to him.
Yeah, Schwass is changing with Rock on the ball. Their opponent is, of course, McDermott.
Kicks it without the boot and gets great distance. Hoping that McAdam or Longmire can take it. Bickley off hands. Swings it wide. Maynard took a while to rev himself up, but then did it okay to Rouvray. Rouvray, pinpoint accuracy to well, it wasn't. Jamison. Allison. McAdam. Left foot. Across the face of goal. Carey sets himself. Well played, Smart. It's been an engrossing duel. Oh, the tackle by Carey all right on McGuinness. The Longmire tackle was good too. Smart, well played. Doesn't get it far enough. Schwass holds it up. Adelaide dive on top through Lee. Good defensive play. Some good footy all round, wasn't it?
Yes, I concur wholeheartedly, Bruce. It was some desperate stuff shown by both sides there. It's at centre half forward for North Melbourne. They trail by just 8 points. Men on a mission, the Kangaroos, try to down the Adelaide Crows on their own turf.
It's been a pretty good battle in the ruck division too, I think, Robbo. Both players getting their hands on the football. Ischenko having a part. This man on-screen Wren, great young play, dropping behind play, picking up a few more possessions than Ischenko, but I'd say at the moment it's pretty even Steven.
Stevens forces the ball forward. Rock dumped. Scott Lee in there. Gee, that was good defensive work by Lee. He was outnumbered and the flow was against him, but he just threw himself at the football and held North Melbourne up once again. North Melbourne making a bit of a surge here. The last 2 or 3 minutes. Again, Big Alex is into the action. Wren tries to tap it clear. Schwass can't get it clear. Maynard into the action. And both sides just sensing that the next 6 or 8 minutes could be important in the final wash-up for this important match between these two sides. There's Sean Wren. Up high, ineffective. Underneath it is Rock. He can't get the ball clear. Through goes Ramiro, tackled by Jamison. And the umpire forced to bounce once again, which would be probably the 5th time that he's done it in this region around centre-half forward for North Melbourne.
Yes, I think the Crows are doing what North Melbourne would have hoped, and that's blocking up the North Melbourne forward line.
Scholl back to Ramiro, squash underneath it, takes an easy mark. So after all of that, he still hasn't had time to put his boot back on. But it was like a rugby scrum for about 5 minutes.
Yes, I was thinking exactly the same thing there, Bruce. It was just one after the other, the bounce, and finally there was a bit of a passage, a clear knock from the Crows, but it went to a North Melbourne player who swung it around, and luck's of fortune, Swass bobbed up with a possession.
Well, Adelaide led by 21 points after they trailed at one stage by 26, and a goal to Schwass here, and you'd have to back him in. Set shot 35 metres out would put North Melbourne within 2 points.
His body language just, you would suggest he looks tired, he feels tired.
He's been an important player, though, at the start of this third quarter.
Yeah, this will be his 3rd or 4th kick, Robbo, in this term. And from North Melbourne's point of view, let's hope it's a good one. Drop punt, it looks okay, goal. Squeezes it in.
It's a hard name, isn't it?
Together with a top cast of comics, they'll send up anything and anyone.
Paul Mercurio, welcome.
Hello, Liz.
John Hewson gets a makeover.
This is the real me, Dr. John Madonna Iwatika Hewson.
And Billy Ray gets a bagging.
This is Billy Ray as you've always wanted to hear him.
Toyota brings you Full Frontal, presented by Fast Forward, 8:30 Thursday.
Well, talking about players looking tired, Sean Wren is having a badly needed rest on the interchange bench because it's going to be a torrid last quarter, I'm predicting here. Stevens gets the ball clear, and Carey marks in front of Smart.
Yes, well, Robert went into the ruck, and importantly, Ishenko took advantage of his height, got that ball down quickly, and another centre bounce takeaway to North Melbourne.
Wayne Carey was kicked 2. Lovely long kick by Carey. It looks pretty good. So Carey kicks his 3rd goal, and North Melbourne hit the front. 12-6 to 11-8, halfway through the 3rd quarter.
You wouldn't know it. There's just an absolute silence here at Football Park. And Stephen Rose come onto the ground and gone to the forward pocket, which has created a bit of an imbalance for North Melbourne. They've reacted by putting Allison down on the back from the wing into the back line. And Craig Scholl has moved to the wing on to Tregenza.
Plenty of work for the runners of the respective sides. Robran gets the tap out, but Clarkson bangs it forward. Martin in the centre of the ground, kicks it towards full forward. Marking contest. McAdam underneath it. Through comes Rouvray and clears for Adelaide. Wide to right half back, close to the boundary line. The race is on. Schwass and Scott Lee, and the umpire will call for a throw in.
Last 3 goals to North Melbourne. After Modra kicked the opening goal of the term, Robran goes up against Ishenko. Off the ground by McAdam. Maynard. Very well played. Robran. His left foot. Rose just come on. Good stretch, Allison. It was, wasn't it? Mark of the year a couple of years ago in totally different circumstances at the MCG. Neat kick. Carey uses his body. Oh, great mark. And beautifully done to Rock. Rock goes to full forward. Longmire with his best chance tonight. Rouvray did a good job. A chance here for Roberts. Was he being held on to? It's still there. A chance for Longmire. The snap was touched. It's a behind. Oh, frenetic action in the goal square there. And John Longmire, who's had such a great year for North Melbourne, injured, out of sorts tonight. Oh, danger!
Just getting back to the Longmire one after that incredible kick out, which sees McAdam with a shot at goal. Rock looked up and he was waiting for the Longmire lead, but he just hasn't appeared to want to get to the football tonight. I know he's carrying an injury, but he isn't on the burst, and that's when he's at his best, Longmire. He propped and copped and really gave no option for Rock. But
what about the kick in here?
Oh, well.
Golly.
Oh, Rouvray going to heart, and McAdam just puts the one hand up, and you know it'll stick. because he's got such skills.
We've all made those Blues. It's better not to talk about them.
Dear me. McAdam's kicked 2. He's 30 metres out. And he's kicked his third, and North have stretched it away. So this fairy tale for Adrian McAdam continues at Football Park tonight with 3 goals. He's kicked 26 goals, and this is his 4th match in the AFL.
Yes, well, don't worry about this one, Paul Rouvreau. There'll be plenty of time to worry about that after the game, but you join the rest of us embarrassing yourself out on Football Park. There isn't a player playing the game that hasn't done something like that, where he's just looking for that big hole in the ground, brother.
12.5 minutes left. North Melbourne hit back. They lead by 11 points. 13-7 to 11-8. And Big Alex, he's got a huge heart because he's done a terrific job at those centre bounces. Martin gets the ball to German. German streams towards goal. Peter German, lovely long kick, but may have been touched. No, it hasn't been. It's a goal to North. Great kick by Peter German. He's kicked his 2nd goal, and North Melbourne lead by 17 points.
Yes, and the centre bounce dominance of Ishenko is coming to the fore here, although I don't always believe it's the ruckman. Look at the way that Rock just threw himself in there. And Martin got a smart handball out to German. He doesn't miss that, but right that goal down to McAdam. It was his shepherding on the goal line that was all important. North Melbourne looking dangerous.
Well, what a turnaround in this match. North Melbourne with 5 consecutive goals, and Adelaide needing some inspiration. McGuinness goes to half-forward. They've kicked the last 4 goals in 5 minutes, North Melbourne. Rashuto runs it towards the boundary line. Smith paddles it over. Well played, Ross Smith. Graham Corn suddenly worried again.
And importantly, that was the first centre bounce takeaway for Adelaide this quarter. Went to McGuinness. It did come from the ruck work of Ishenko, and that possibly is going to be a worry for Corns.
Fairly did okay. Mickey Martin's been all right too, Gerard, since he's gone up to the forward line. Here's Robran. Stevens crashing into him. Gets good distance, but straight to Laidley. Now Adelaide needing some system across half forward, and of course in that centre square, Rock swings at the shoal. Next goal's pretty important because North has got a very handy break now. Smart running back against it. Martin puts a defender's tackle on him and runs it out. And North keep it in their area.
Yes, well, Craig Scholl's creating some problems for the Crows. A tall wingman. He's really just a little bit on top of Tregenza. Perhaps they would consider shifting Anderson across, even up the height somewhat.
Tap by Ishenko. McGuinness couldn't get away. Gets a free kick against Stevens.
This Anderson's man, German, kicked the last goal, so it'd probably be a double win for the Crows if they swung their wings away.
McGuinness to centre wing.
High kick by Tony McGuinness. Punched away. Tregenza tries to pounce on it. Little kick by Clarkson. Jarman can't control it. Boundary throw and will take place.
Very good job so far, Clarkson, on Jarman. Here's another one of the match winners for the Crows, and Clarkson has stuck to his task magnificently.
Ischenko and Robran. Away goes McGuinness. Short kick, chopped off. Mark taken by Smith. North Melbourne have got the answers so far. Long kick by Smith to within scoring distance. Up goes Carey. Gatherers by Schwass. Close to the goal line. And a good mark taken by Rouvreau. Longmire.
He just looks out of sorts, Longmire.
Certainly restricted. Rouvreau just indicating to the umpire that he's going to come to this near side. He goes close to the 50-metre line. No mark taken. Robran in front. Hand pass away for Anderson. They haven't had any players running past. Jamison and McDermott combined. Got something moving here. Scott Lee. His kick in towards full forward. Oh, terrific mark. Under the odds, a lot of pressure applied by Archer. And this young man who's kicked 5 goals already, lining up for goal number 6. And Archer to be complimented because he hasn't given Modra all that much space for the entire evening.
No, I think it's a pretty good matchup from Dennis Pagan. Obviously the amount of goals he's kicked would be of a concern, but I don't think North would have too many better players.
Very important kick for Adelaide. Modra. Good kick. It's a goal. So his form continues, Tony Modra. He's now kicked 6 goals, 1, as Adelaide pull back to within 11 points of North Melbourne.
Yes, I think Pagan making the right move here, bringing Longmire off the ground. Buckley goes onto the field. McAdams at full forward. As we see, once again, the talents of Modra taking the mark. I love this kick. McDermott gets another handball to Scott Lee. Big pass.
Back in the centre, Roberts' handball off to Laidley. It's 12-8 to 14-7. Big moment in the match now. Off the ground by Ramiro. McAdam versus Hart. And out of play. 11-point margin. Modra with 45 goals for the season. He's been the leading goal kicker all year, and he's joined Ablett, who kicked 12 today. They're both on 45. It's 80 to 91. Modra's kicked the last 4 goals for Adelaide. There's Rotherham to Tregenza to McDermott. Maybe not the right option, but he does get it back and then squares it to McGuinness. They build it up again now, Adelaide. McGuinness on his wrong side, but able to get a bit of distance. Mickham was there. Good punch away by North. Well played, Schwass. And against the flow, had a couple of Adelaide players bearing down. He went for safety and out of play. Great crowd in. We've already talked about it. Not a seat in the house vacant. Must be 46,500 again tonight.
Terrific contest here at Football Park. Stevens kicks it forward for North Melbourne towards half forward, and that mark has been paid to Martin. Perhaps not up to half forward. He's closer to the wing, and he kicks it in towards centre half forward. Marking contest at the back is Smart. Doing well on Carey. Lee, Bickley, Robrin, sweeping hand pass into the centre of the ground where McGuinness gathers. Hand pass away, misses Stevens. Tap on Jamison, Anderson. Here it comes again. Back for McGuinness, who's run good distance. Kick towards full forward, dragged down. No, play on. Boo, say the Adelaide fans. They're not happy with that decision. Have a look at that if you don't mind. Footy's all over here at Footy Park. Boundary thrown in the right forward pocket.
Well, what's your decision? I know what they said here at Football Park.
Right forward pocket for Adelaide. Micken and Fairley. Fairley taps it wide for Schwass. His kick in towards the centre of the ground. Awkward bounce. Back goes the football. It's still there to be won. Bickley's caught. Well caught by Ramiro. Rodman dives on the footy. So does Stevens with desperation. Ischenko combines with Allison and North Melbourne into attack.
Chips it. Rock could get a good bounce. Running at it. Maynard tries to run him down. Smart holds it up. Rock gets rid of a good play, Adelaide. They've conceded nothing here. Now a chance for Ramiro. Left foot snap. Hart. Goal. McAdam grabbed hold of Hart, but it's a goal. I reckon Hart was stiff there. If you watch it on replay, 15-7 to 12-8.
Yes, I didn't think they were ever going to get that one through the goals, North Melbourne. Look at Rock under severe pressure because of a mungled bounce, but did well getting the ball out. Roberts under pressure. The Crows were outnumbered 4 players to 2 there. They got numbers back. And I don't know if there was that much in that one, Bruce.
You haven't had a few bop on the Adelaide Crows, Brucey, have you?
Not tonight, Robbo.
17 points in favour of North Melbourne. A free kick back near the centre, and it will go to North Melbourne. Rowe having a bit of a dust up. It's Ramiro's kick. Up towards full forward. Chance for McAdam. Hart. Kick by Carey. What a... Oh, dear me. It's just hit the post. 3 goals, 2.
Bernard's doing a particularly good job on McAdam at the marking contest. McAdam's been leading his player to those, and they've been going up for the grab. He's been staying down, picking up the crumbs. Not so tonight, Ben Hart.
Little chip by Hart. Man in question goes to Bickley. Back to Jamison. Adelaide trails by 3 goals. Jamison goes to half forward. McGuinness just trying to get rid of Stevens, who did excellently to hold him there. McGuinness free kick.
I don't know why they're cheering, because you mentioned at half-time the statistics with the free kicks are just so lopsided in favour of Adelaide.
19 to 4 at half-time and 10 to 1 in the second quarter. McGuinness is a thumping kick. On the run, you'd give him a chance with a vacant goal square, but...
McGuinness just asking the umpire there, Bruce, about the mark. As Allison crept up, was it Stevens on the mark as he crept up a yard or so?
Gives it his best.
Modra! That is the mark of the year. I'll say now, no one will beat that. the biggest leap since Gillett Porter ran second in the 56 Olympic Games.
Well, 45,000 people have risen to one. It's one of the great moments in the game, isn't it? It really is.
Well, he's certainly setting Gary Ablett a task now. Have a look at that one. Jezelenko took a ripper in a grand final. That one was second to none.
And he kicks his seventh. Oh, give him the key to the city, Robbo. What a mark, what a goal, what a match.
Well, I don't think you can see anything better than that, Jared, in footy, can you? He takes the mark in the goal square, kicks the goal, it's his seventh. And by gee whiz, aren't the fans excited here?
Well, he has written his name into the history books with that leap. I agree with you, Robbo. That has to be mark of the year. Well, if it's not, I'd like to see it.
But they're good one-grabbers, aren't they? He's got terrific hands when he gets there.
And that's the sort of leap and individual performance that can win a game for you. So getting away from the mark is important for North Melbourne if they're going to win this to get the next goal.
2 goals now, North Melbourne's advantage. Chance for McDermott. He can't get clear. His hand pass taken by Laidley. Laidley kicks forward. Carey can't take the mark. Chance for Schwartz. He's held up by Smart. The ball at centre half forward for North Melbourne. Rodgren tries to get the ball clear, but Wayne Schwartz is at the bottom of the pack. And a bounce will take place.
Jarman about to come off the ground.
Not a bad
Viking Wiedemann coming on.
Not a bad move because Andrew Jarman has been struggling, hasn't he? You mentioned that just a few minutes ago. He got a heavy knock in the first quarter and straight away Wiedemann and Clarkson into the action. Adelaide kicked the ball back towards the centre of the ground, but a top effort taken there by Laidley.
If I was Dennis Pagan, I'd consider putting Clarkson straight onto McDermott and taking him out of the game.
Laidley, Carey's big grab in the centre. Great mark by the captain, and he's within kicking distance. Anything within about 55 metres, you'd give this man a chance.
It's a loose man in the forward pocket, Carey ignoring it. It was Rock.
Well, he must fancy himself, and why not? He's a thumping kick. He's a great leader. It's just the sort of goal you reckon he might kick after Modras arose at the other end. Leans back, goes bang, gives it a real ride, and puts it through. Oh, the captain leading from the front. What a great goal. 4 to Carey.
Yes, Dennis Pagan has told us about this man's leadership skills, and well, I considered that Rock was the better option, but he knew different. He went back and kicked. Well, it was a vital goal, I'm sure, in the context of this game. Fantastic pressure, and to be able to produce under that pressure just shows what a great player he is. There's Jarman with the blood just dripping from the left eye, and the lead creating some havoc.
Rodgeren a big leap. Bashed forward by Stevens, taken by Jamison, missed. Allison kicks it forward to a vacant half-forward area. Carey and Smart. Carey gets the hand pass away. Too severe for German, but he's back in the action. Football underneath, taken by Anderson. Gets clear and gets his left foot to it. Kick towards half-forward. Micken can't take the mark, but he's back into the action. Tries to bash it forward. Away goes Smith for North Melbourne. His kick back towards half-forward for the Kangaroos. At the back is Bickley, under a little bit of pressure. Caught by German. Dragged to the ground and may receive the free kick. He does. A little fortunate there.
Well, I think if the player's got the football when you put the hands on, you're entitled to bring him to the ground, even if he drops the ball in motion.
Bickley's kick. Looking for McGuinness. Taken by Stevens. Hand pass for Schwartz. His kick. Up to the front of the goals. Punched away by Rouvray. Taken by Smart. Still got the football. Roberts gets his kick away, but misses to the right-hand side. 3 goals, 1 to Mark Roberts. 3 goals to McAdam, 4 goals to Carey, 2 goals to Jose Ramiro, and for Adelaide, Tony Modra has kicked 7. Ben Hart.
Once again, the Crows trying to move their men around like a chessboard, trying to find a gap in this zone defence.
Hart goes out wide. Rodgren's his target. Good mark. He's a very promising player. Season at Hawthorn, missed out on their premiership against West Coast, then stood out and now playing for the Crows. Micken hasn't had many touches in his comeback game. Germans squeezed one away. Anderson started the match brilliantly. He's been held out. Stevens' tackle was a beauty. It's been the best tackle in the comp. Ramiro to go for goal. Goes with it, kicks it across the face. And another one for North here would give them a very big cushion. They're a good team, this North Melbourne unit. They've withstood an Adelaide challenge tonight and they've responded.
Well, I question their ability to run on the big grounds at half-time, but they have played good corridor football this quarter, Bruce. And if you're going straight up and down the middle, your ability to run is lessened.
Well, the one thing they've done this year, Gerard, is kick goals. They've averaged 150 points in their matches to date, and they're up to 106 so far. That was not a good option. Straight to Ashenko. Within the last minute and a quarter, Ashenko towards full forward. Smarts over the top, off the ground by Martin, rolling for a goal. A goal for Mickey.
Well, Mick Martin will be pleased with that one. He doesn't kick too many in his career.
It's his 11th, Gerard, in the 101 games.
I was waiting for it. Thanks, Bruce. And that was quite a special one. It came from nowhere. This is just a fantastic game of football. I think North Melbourne are going to need such a lead at three-quarter time if they are to win. As I said, their running power, perhaps not as good. You don't need as much if you go up the centre of the ground. It has been an inspired move to have Martin on the forward line in this quarter by Pagan.
Well, they've now kicked 8 goals in this third quarter, and they get the ball clear again through Schwass. Chance for Lee. His quick kick goes back to the centre, and that man has had a terrific influence on the game. Big Alex Sischenko. Hand pass wide for Stevens, run down by McGuinness, but gets his kick away towards half forward. Tregenza helped out by Lee, so the combination there for the Adelaide side. Tregenza's kick is very ordinary. Stevens and McGuinness, and the ball knocked over in the finish for a throw-in.
He hasn't had his best night tonight, Simon Tregenza. Kicking not his greatest asset. That one was, well, it was a shocker.
Just a few seconds left in the third term. It's been a good one for North Melbourne. Wiedemann tries to get clear. Allison forces it for Rock. Rock's kick towards half forward, bouncing awkwardly. Maynard tries to tap it back for his own advantage. In there is Martin. His tap wide. Rouvray. Fumble by Robrin. Still got the football. Chance now for Anderson to clear. Right on the three-quarter time siren. The mark is taken out there by Jamison. And that ceases the third quarter. And a terrific one for North Melbourne. They lead at three-quarter time 17-10 to 13-8.
It's the name of the game.
Trying to inspire as Max Stevens reports from the boundary line at three-quarter time. Max.
Well, Bruce, I think you might find both coaches are going to make several changes in this last quarter. The magnet boards, they were going wild on them at three-quarter time. North Melbourne fairly confident they can win this game, and all they have to do, 30 minutes of attacking football, will give them the 4 points. North outnumbering the Crows at the fall of the ball, and Dennis Pagan says that's paying dividends. Adelaide, Wayne Wiedemann coming on at the 25-minute mark. Maybe he can create some value across half forward. Straight down the middle, according to Graham Corns, and Andrew Jarman coming off towards the end of that quarter. He has a bruised lower leg, and we understand he won't be taking any further part in the game. Sean Wren simply tired.
Well, he's only played a half a game this season.
I'm just going to say, Bruce, an observation. If you look at North Melbourne's huddle, they are very, very tight-knit. Whereas you have a look now, Adelaide have got together and are paying a lot of attention to Graham Corns, but they were quite fragmented for a long time during that three-quarter time break.
Robert, the third quarter stats just really do tell the story of this game. In the middle, 10 takeaways in the centre bounce to Adelaide's 2. And whilst it wasn't that fantastic for North Melbourne in the first half, they really did make full use of their getaways that quarter. And I think part of that was the fact that McDermott really did die out of the game, and Schwass and Rock really lifted together. They took Romero off the ground, Schwass and Rock taking McDermott to task, and there's the match statistics. The centre bounce domination has been unbelievable. Let's see the free kicks. Well, they haven't really evened up. Wouldn't be surprised if they squared up a little bit in this quarter. That seems to be the way football goes these days.
What about you give Big Alex a rap? I think he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, Wren's gone off the ground, obviously, because he's a fairly exhausted man. But, by gee, Alex has just worn him down.
Yes, I think he did particularly well in the centre bounces that quarter. Although often it's not really what the ruckmen do with the football, it's the men on the ground. And whilst I probably see through the eyes of a retired ruck rover, it's those men on the ground that make the difference.
Last quarter about to commence. North Melbourne lead by 26 points. Montres kicked 7 goals. The last 5 for Adelaide. He took a mark tonight that will be remembered forever. It was a screamer. And as Robbo said, that will be the mark of the year. Here we go.
Probably the best mark ever taken on this ground.
17-10 to 13-8. 112 to 86. Wren to go against Tashenko. Wiedemann runs in hard. Martin. Max Stevens has told us in the break that Jarman's unlikely to resume. The quick kick by Rowe to half forward. Running hard at it, Prosciutto. Anderson's left foot didn't go very far. Ross Smith, he's played pretty well. And intrusively at the back, there's Jamison and Jarman.
Jamison hasn't been near the football today. I thought they may have pushed him up forward as another goal-kicking option. But I just reiterate, Bruce, I think that the Crows have really a 4-goal advantage at this ground, and it really comes to 4 in the last quarter.
Good give by Allison to Schwass, who has lifted to half forward. Martin, and kicked a very important goal in that third quarter. Now Clarkson, quick kick towards centre half forward. Rock, lovely mark. He lifted in the third term. And North Melbourne are going like winners. The kick to the pocket. Lovely kick, good stretch, strong mark. And just the right man, I'd fancy, to have the footy in the pocket, Roberts.
I wish my money was on North. I reckon they're playing like winners.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good at the moment. If this goal is converted, it's going to be a tough task for Adelaide, but we've seen them pull off some unbelievable victories at this ground. Rock has done himself proud in the last half. One big quarter to go.
Roberts, who's kicked 3. Kick across the face, and it's a behind. They say that that is the toughest pocket to score from at Footy Park. So Roberts should be pretty happy. He's kicked 3-2 and has contributed strongly as Adelaide bring it out of defence short to McDermott.
McDermott in the right back pocket, looking to kick it to his team's advantage, out in the direction of Maynard. It goes through all those players. Laidley is there. Handball for Ischenko. His quick kick out in the direction of Martin. Chased down by McDermott, but he taps it back in the Allison direction. Tregenza, perhaps not quite fierce enough there, Simon Tregenza, in his efforts to dispossess Brett Allison, and a boundary throw-in will take place. Perfect conditions for footy here in Adelaide this evening. Wren in the ruck gives away a free kick. Play on. The advantage is with North Melbourne. The kick towards half forward. Carey. That is fantastic. I don't think there's any need to dispute that. He had one grab at it, went back after it, and brought it down.
Thought it might have just hit the ground though, Robert. I thought the free kick was possibly there beforehand. So let's just have a look what did happen on the replay. There's the first grab. Does he get the second? That's what the crowd was jeering about.
Well, he's got the footy, Wayne Carey. He's kicked 4 goals, and he's kicked 4 very, very good goals at critical stages.
Once again on the replay, does it hit the ground? Yes, a tough one to call for the umpire, but it certainly did. But boy, you had to admire the way he went back and just, with all the pressure in the world on him in the last quarter, kicked maybe the most vital goal in this game.
This one's going to be an important one too. Leading from the front, the captain, he's kicked 4. This is a chance for his 5th goal. Certainly will get the distance. He's about 35 metres out, slight angle. And it drifts across through forward, just one behind. 4 goals, 3.
Still believe it's dangerous times here for North Melbourne.
Roberts and Carey. Now, Roberts was a tough one, but Carey, you'd back him in, and they're normally very accurate kicks. So if either of those are converted, you'd say it was too big a break. But Adelaide still with some hope, but North Melbourne continuing to play the better footy. McGuinness went for a little toe poke off the ground. The tackle by German was okay. Maynard caught by Martin.
Well, at the present time, North Melbourne are really keeping closed the pressure valve at this ground. If the Crows can kick 1 or 2, the roars will start coming, the anticipation, the expectation of the crowd, and they just lift these players to feats above the normal. Suffered enough here at the hands of South Australia to know. It's just almost energy sapping when that biased crowd really start finding voice.
17-12 to 13-8. And 13 scoring shots to 3 in the third quarter. Clarkson, high one. Carey and Smart. Taken 9 marks tonight, Carey. Wiedemann to Lee. This is where Adelaide usually builds something. Tregenza It gives okay. Rouvray with some run in the centre square to centre half forward. Robran not able to. Fairly. Micken has struggled at centre half forward all night. Clarkson. German. Here's a chance now. Rock. He's got Schwass in the pocket. Carey wants it at centre half forward. It's a good kick. Well played by the Adelaide defender though, with great courage. Smart.
He's in trouble.
In big trouble. Smart's handball. McGuinness under pressure.
Tregenza, I think.
Well, it was a gutsy effort by Tregenza.
Certainly was, Bruce, and he's to be complimented because if he doesn't stand up, Carey takes the mark and has a shot from about 50 metres.
Yeah, well done, Tregenza. Could have finished the game, that mark.
Yep, critical stage of the game as far as Adelaide's concerned. North Melbourne try to force it forward. Well done by Rock, just got a little kick to it, play on, Wiedemann dispossessed. Kick forward again by Stevens, gathered by McAdam. McAdam with skill, class, kicks, misses to the right-hand side.
45,562 here tonight, which is about the norm at Footy Park. So the big three. Oh, Rouvray not getting much distance. Smart takes them up. The big three for North Melbourne as far as goal kicking tonight. They kicked 3 points in the last quarter in the final term. Here's Adelaide's chance. Maynard, McGuinness looks for Modra. Rasciuto back there as well. Modra's inside, should shepherd. Rasciuto in the pocket, squares it. Micken a chance. Robran kicks his third. It's what Gerard Healy was talking about. Suddenly the stadium's alight and the Crows will find something from here at 14-8 to 17-13.
Yes, well, I don't want to be the prophet of doom, but the danger signs are there for North Melbourne. I've seen this before where you miss easy shots at goal up one end, you think you've got the game in the bag, all of a sudden you're in trouble, the pressure comes on and you've lost.
So the difference is 23 points in favour of North Melbourne. McDermott gets the ball clear. His left foot kick goes towards half forward, but a good mark taken by Craig Scholl in front of Matthew Robran. Handball away. Laidley goes long, out wide towards the wing. Big Alex is there, can't quite take the mark.
Good tap.
Critical. Taps it into the path of Allison. Allison outside 50 metres. Kick towards full forward. Slipping over with McAdam. Away goes Hart. A short kick. Bickley got loose players on the wing. Tregenza loves to run with the footy. Gathers momentum and kicks it in towards half forward. Tap down. Liptak dispossessed by Rowe, his teammate. And it's knocked over for a boundary throw-in.
I'm just looking at the other end of the ground, Robbo, and McAdam going berserk down there. He wants the ball down quickly, but I think he's got to start attacking the football. If he's down there one out, he just can't wait for it to be bombed into the square.
Tregenza from Stevens, high kick, Rasciuto and Smith. And Smith running it over, and Adelaide deep in attack.
Need to get a goal here, Bruce, from this foray.
Well, such is the advantage here for the Crows. I believe it's almost next goal wins.
Gee, it's 3-5 the difference, Gerard.
Well,
it's a big call.
Let's just wait and see.
Well, we've stunned you and I, Robbo. We like a bet, but it's a big way back from 4 goals behind.
I think North Melbourne have done very well from half-time when they trailed by 9 points to turn it around and kick 8 goals in that third quarter.
Micken's tap. Here's a chance. Rowe. Oh, great smother, Ross Smith. Then off the ground. Rasciuto after it. Allison hip and shoulder was a good one. Laidley runs it over. You'd be happy with that result.
Done pretty well, Dean Laidley, back there in defence. They've got a good unit together. Ross Smith, good defender.
Blakey, of course, has been excellent down there, but out with a knee injury.
Micken struggling. Robran tries to get it for McGuinness. Scholl in trouble. Liptak, but a free kick to North Melbourne. Too high on Craig Scholl.
Had a pretty good game, Scholl. He's now in defence, picking up Robran. Been on the wing.
Kick goes wide. Wren can't mark. Martin made a good contest out of it. Allison off the ground. Rebounds. Chance for Rowe. Knocked away from McGuinness. Oh, heavy bump by Wiedemann. Terrific stuff. That may inspire the Adelaide side. Bickley, sweeping hand pass. Out for McGuinness. Gets back onto the favoured left foot. Runs around and kicks it in towards centre half forward. Marking contest. He's got it again. Great hands, Modra.
I'm sure all the Fitzroy players back at home would be saying, well, this game isn't won yet, because this man single-handedly put on a 3-goal burst as Rock comes off the ground for Pyman, which really grabbed victory for the Crows when all looked gone. If he sinks this one, the crowd will just go up another notch, Bruce, and I'll take a bit of that money.
Let's have another look at his list of goals so far. He's going for his 8th goal tonight. Lovely kick. He's got
8. Foodland and the savings are kicking on.
You've got to be enjoying this back home, wherever you're watching around Australia on 7. What a contest. Jared Healy reckoned the next goal would win. Let's see what sort of a judge he is. The odds are still with the Kangaroos. They're 17 points in front. Scholl goes back with it. The handball. Ross Smith's quick kick away. Got a little push. German runs it over the line out of play. It's been a wonderful night for footy. Great contest. We've seen some spectacular play at both ends. And without doubt, Modra is a superstar. What he's done here tonight has been so thrilling. But still, North Melbourne are in front, and they've played terrific footy. They're on top of the table. Wren holds it up and takes the mark at centre wing. He's got McDermott. He's got a sit. Right, gets around. Goes bang to centre half forward. Robin's got it. He is a thumping kick. Has booted 3. Can he do a Carey here and go back, lay back and put it through? Now Modra goes, but he'll go for goal here.
I'm sure he'll lean back, Bruce.
Let's see, Robbo. Back he goes. Drop putt. Bang. It's a beauty. 4 to Robin. And the Crows are charging home.
Well done, Matthew Robin, a player that has come of age in the last couple of weeks for the Crows. Struggled for form at the start of the year. Dropped out of football for a year to get to Adelaide. And he really is now showing his worth, and Hawk fans will, I'm sure, rue the day that this man got away from them. And we are in for some of the most exciting minutes of football that we've had this season.
Well, you've predicted it, Jared. I thought North Melbourne were going quite comfortably, but they may have just sat back and relaxed a little bit and allowed the Crows to just make the play.
This is the killer, this man.
Away he goes. Long kick to the goal line, but misses to the left-hand side. And all around the ground, you could see people jump up out of their chairs as McGuinness went streaming towards goal.
Yes, you would have backed him to kick those ones, McGuinness. He's that sort of match-winning player.
Ross Smith to kick it back in. Goes straight down the ground. Wren, can't mark. At the back, Scholl. Kicks it forward. And well done, Smart. Backs himself. Runs away from Carey. Kicks it wide. Player on his own is Micken. He's marked outside 50 metres.
North Melbourne have got to get some people into defence now, even if they play that loose man across half-back.
Modra's gone again.
Well, let's keep an impartial eye on this one. I thought Modra definitely pushed him out there. Umpires under a bit of pressure from the home crowd. This crowd here makes the Victoria Park crowd look, well, ineffectual. Just a little push out there.
I don't think Archer was complaining. Modra for goal number 9, and the difference will be just 4 points. He's kicked it.
That's a Gary Ablett performance, isn't it? Ablett's performance in the grand final. I know the stakes are not as high, but what a player, what a performance tonight.
Well, it's not just the number of goals he's kicked, it's the way he's kicked them. He's just Mr. Excitement. And boy, has he got a future in football. This next centre-bounce takeaway, all important.
Well, that's what's happened, isn't it? You mentioned that it was North Melbourne dominating, and now Adelaide seem to be... They've gone in fits and starts, both sides, haven't they, that centre-bounce?
Yes, but one thing that's been consistent, I guess, all game, I guess, in a bit of direct contrast to what you were saying, North Melbourne have dominated the centre-bounce takeaways, but it hasn't reflected always on the scoreboard.
Just 4 points of difference in a cracking match at Football Park. No mark paid. Remember, North Melbourne playing to stay on top. Adelaide for a spot on the 6 tonight, holding the footy.
And it's not only the players that get influenced by the crowd here, it's also the umpires.
Poor kick by Bickley.
Wasn't it? Because the momentum was all with the Crows. In fact, it's coming back, I think. Adelaide might be lucky here. They're going to get a second pop. The reason is that Wiedemann was to take the ball. And it's Wiedemann's free kick, so Adelaide fortunate because Bickley did make a mess of it.
I'd like to see Carey come up onto the ball.
Wiedemann goes bang. Robin sits and waits. Schwass holds it up. And suddenly North Melbourne is under great pressure. They led by 29 points.
Yeah, they must kick the next goal, Bruce.
Well, the tide's against them, really, isn't it? Because Adelaide have just gone steamrolling forward in the last 6 minutes.
Robbo, a lot of goals kicked to that left-hand end tonight, hasn't there?
Yes.
Micken tries to win the tap. McDermott was there. There's a whole heap of players there. And North Melbourne will be content just for the moment to hold it up and then try and bring it out with some system.
Bruce, if Adelaide do happen to win the game, is there any reason why there'd be a protest from North Melbourne with the free kick situation being so uneven?
Well, there might be a dispute, but what can they do about it?
Looks like Fairley has come onto the ball, Bruce. Oshenko up in the forward pocket for North Melbourne. They have to do something.
Schwass trying to get clear. Wiedemann's got the football. Umpire's picked the free kick out of there. Oh, geez, an absolute miracle work of the umpire there because it really was a tight tussle. Schwass with the football at centre-half back. Kicks it high out towards the wing. Marking contest. Punched away by Smart. In goes McDermott. Whoa, that was a wonderful handball for Rowe. Rowe's kick. Modra jumps too early. Laidley gets back. Possession number 22. Kick it towards half forward. No mark taken by Pyman. A quick give for Allison. Not Allison, Stevens. His kick wide to the wing. A real important possession here for Ramiro. A kick to half forward. Carey, he's got it. Outside 50. He runs on. Smart puts him under pressure. And well done, Nigel Smart. Because that was very, very important.
Been a very good battle between Smart and Carey. The umpire directing traffic down here, doing the boundary line umpire's job as well.
He's given Adelaide a few metres there. Maynard goes back though, into the goal square. Bickley, handball, Lee. They're just trying to get something mounted here. That kick was a bad option. There was a player in short. Ben Hart. Kick off the ground by Schwass, close to the line. And he probably should have gone short, Bruce.
He had Tregenza short and Hart trying to run long, and Tregenza would have been able to draw it over the top.
Boundary throw in centre wing. Difference just 4 points in North Melbourne's favour. Big punch by Wren. Goes towards half forward. Handball by Liptak. Handball by McDermott. Tregenza. A quick kick inside 50 metres. Important. Scholl bashes it back. In goes Liptak. Just pushed as he went to kick the football. Pyman slow. Scholl can't get it clear. Now he can. Risciuto in there. Wiedemann now. Gets past. Gives ground away for Tregenza. Tregenza's kick is going to be marked for Adelaide by Rowe. Well, what an unbelievable game of football. Rowe has the chance to kick a goal, and that will give Adelaide the lead.
Gee, this is not an easy shot. That angle will look difficult, wouldn't it?
I don't know if it would for him. At this ground, these players just produce feats.
Rowe's shot. It's a goal. Well, the folks back home watching this on television, you've been entertained, but I'm sure a lot of them will be North Melbourne supporters, and you won't believe the turnaround because they now trail by 2 points.
Well, it's one of the most unstoppable forces in football. Any South Australian side on a roll at Football Park, be it their State of Origin side or the Crows. What a fantastic exhibition it's been. What a great game. If North Melbourne can get out of this, there's no way known they'll miss the 6.
No, couldn't agree more, Jared. This is the moment of truth for the Kangaroos. They've been great this season, and they've been asked to stand up now and be counted.
This is equivalent to any pressure that footballers will feel in their career other than finals.
You just feel if North can get out and win here, they'll go right on with this season. But they've had it laid on them right now. 2 points the difference. Plenty of time either way. 9 minutes remaining. Maynard switches it to Bickley. There'll be some heroics in the last 10 minutes. It's in the centre square. Fairly up. Tackle on him by Liptak was okay. North Melbourne pounce on it.
Stevens.
Pyman coming off for Clarkson.
Clarkson is coming back onto the ground. They are starting to win around the packs, the Crows, and that's been the big difference, as you were saying, Robbo.
Stevens couldn't get it away. Micken just got a touch. Allison, Risciuto. Allison's handball good. Smith squeezes it out. Rock's got a chance. Bickley pursues him. Rock gets River in a hurry. Tregenza Ramiro. This has been Tregenza's best match for the season. That play when he ran at Carey and stopped the mark.
I thought it was a great passage of play. I'm not sure about his match.
Well, I reckon I've seen every one of the Crows matches except for one or two, and this has been the best I've seen him play all year.
He was a little quiet early, I thought.
He's had less kicks, but he's done a lot more with them.
Yes, I think I agree with that little passage of play where he was under pressure there at centre-half back. And now North Melbourne, just a surge forward by Adelaide, gathered about 20 metres for their side there. That's about 55 metres from their goal. They lead by 2 points. And by gee, aren't the crowd here keen on their team? Liptak tries to force it forward. Ramiro gets a kick out, but it's not clear enough. Rowe, he's kicked the full forward. Modric got it. That was a push out. Well, the ball is with the full forward Modric. He's kicked 9 goals. Again, just a little push. But gee, you wouldn't be going to give the free kick against him here. There's 45,000 screaming fans.
Oh, ready to put a hand on the
ground. Going for 10. And he kicks it. Well, I've been watching footy for a fair while, but this comeback has been enormous.
Gee, what's he worth, though? It's been listening to $200,000 for players in the AFL. What's this bloke worth to Adelaide?
Well, it's worth plenty because commercially he's going to be one of those players that can stack them into the ground like an Adelaide, like a Lockett. He will just produce many more feats of miracles like we've seen today. Great player.
Well, Modric kicked 10 goals and Adelaide lead by 8 points.
Render going it with Ashenko. Ashenko wins the tap. McDermott got a high one and gets a free kick.
Yes, and McDermott has lifted his work rate. A very quiet third quarter allowed North Melbourne to get back into the game. Such is his influence over this side. He just really is the spark to this whole team.
McDermott to centre-half forward. Rodrin's in the centre. McGuinness missed it. Rowe went to ground. No push in the back. Essendon and Geelong were both you men at that match when Adelaide kicked 14 and Salmon 10. How does this game compare? Because people were saying that was one of the great games for many years.
I was of that opinion, Bruce, but I'm wrapped. Aren't you lucky to be here tonight?
I think the biggest thing is that football this year has just been outstanding.
Allison off the ground. There's still some footy to be played here. Ramiro goes for it. So does McDermott. Bickley. North Melbourne are onto him. There's 4 of them well played. Rock centering kick. Roberts, it falls in his arms. Quickly on. He's got Carey and McAdam up there. They're 2 great players. Smart goes. Carey can't bring it down. And Lee is away. Steadies. A good kick. A very good kick to Anderson at half-back.
Aptly described, Bruce. Very important there for Adelaide to get back, and they did. Kick towards the wing. Possession for Stevens, a high kick into the centre of the ground. North Melbourne outnumber Adelaide 3-2. Ramiro roving, but stolen by McGuinness. Long kick. Chance here from Rowe. Handball back. Liptak, unselfishly. Micken! The juggler. Oh, that 3 goes at it, didn't he? And he eventually got it by. Gee whiz. You can't help but get involved in a football match here.
And as we see, a bit of a close-up there. Micken maintains possession, takes a wonderful mark. Had a pretty quiet game, but it may be his big moment. Probably to seal the fate for North Melbourne here.
Kicking from 25 metres, a shocker. And on the goal line, it's been marked by Martin.
I'm not sure whether Rashudo thought that was going to go through the goals, but it appeared that he just let that one go.
4.5 minutes to go. And I hate to say it's an ominous sign, but gee, that should have been the ball game.
It should have, yes. It was an important kick.
Let's hope North Melbourne can get the next goal. We'll just make this the absolute nail-biter of the year.
123 to 115. Micken goes. Scholl, who's been good, but there's been a lot of players that have been great. Still Scholl runs it to the line and out of play.
Well, the bottom line, Bruce, is you can't expect to win games if you don't kick goals in the last quarter. And North Melbourne presently have kicked 3 points for this quarter after they should have sealed it early in the piece.
Roberts, Carey and McAdam all missed, and they've been their big goal kickers for the year along with Longmire. Tregenza misses it. Archer, they're not dead yet. Rock, there's still 3.5 minutes remaining. Or Carey. Now Smart. Now Adelaide should go here. Maynard's away. He should draw Smith to him. He goes short, very short. Modra, clever, into the open spaces. Stevens dropped it. Liptak there and hurled up. And you just wonder, don't you, Robbo, with 3 minutes remaining, if North Melbourne has spent all its chips now.
Well, the Mick and Mark and poor kick
kept them in it, didn't it?
Well, it's kept the ball up there, but gee, if he'd have kicked the goal, I think North Melbourne would have just shut the gate then. They've still got a chance. They've got to move it down the ground pretty quickly. Micken's ruck work goes after it again, and the umpire will be forced to bounce.
The big problem for North Melbourne, of course, Robbo, is that Adelaide now can just do what they are doing, just jump on the football, waste time. They only have to run down about another perhaps minute, and that's probably all over.
I just saw 3 people leaving the ground. Could you believe that they'd want to get out and get away quickly?
I wouldn't leave just yet, because at centre-half forward, Roberts has gathered the football, gets around, gives the hand pass away. Schloss, a long kick to within goal-scoring distance, and Carey has marked. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Carey's kicked 4. And if he kicks this goal, it goes back to the centre, and the centre break becomes also important. Carey's shot for goal. He's put it through. It's a goal. 5 goals to Carey, and the difference is just 2 points in favour of Adelaide. Under 2 minutes left.
Well, North Melbourne have dominated centre breaks all evening. This is the most important one of the night. Carey doesn't have any problems kicking this goal, but this is vital. This is pressure football. This is what these players have been trained throughout their whole career to do. Get in and get the ball.
1 minute 55 to go.
The umpire didn't let us down with an absolute shocking centre bounce.
You reckon you should recall it at this stage in the game, wouldn't you? So important. McDermott's quick kick to a space. Rasciuto and Smith. Rasciuto's handball back to Tregenza. Tregenza's handball over the top. Liptak, left foot snap. Gee, Adelaide has had its chances. They really should have goaled out of that. They had all the numbers up there and couldn't. North Melbourne well and truly in this. At half-back, Anderson one hand. An important play. Pyman, Schwartz well done. Ishenko, the big fella sits, waits, can't get rid of the tackle. McGuinness well done, holds it up. Wren tries. Stevens through his fingers, they're exhausted. There's still plenty of time. And it's hurled up at centre wing.
So I think that was a big chance there. Ishenko had numbers. North Melbourne were on the overlap. Just couldn't quite get that extra handball away.
Well, talk about fever pitch, Robbo. They're screaming 45,000 people, and Sean Wren gets a mighty cheer for knocking it out.
Are you telling me? Well, it's just, I can't stand this. I've seen Essendon and Carlton play a draw. I've seen Adelaide kick 14 and lose, and now I've got to sit on the edge of my seat here.
Oh, bring it home for us, Robbo. Come on, a minute to go.
And held in very importantly there by McGuinness on Rock. Getting down towards 30 seconds, and the ball on centre wing, so 3 kicks from either side's goal.
There's a big gap forward here. Schenko should go the big tap to get it out of this melee.
Wren goes to the boundary line, so does McGuinness. It's still close there, and McGuinness importantly takes it over. And Adelaide will win the game. They're 2 points in front. It's too far away from North Melbourne's goal. Just seconds left. Ruck contest. It's Schenko and Wren. Schloss held in. McGuinness has got the ball befittingly when it's all over. And Adelaide win a memorable game by just 2 points. And Modra, what a game he's played. He's kicked 10 goals and a fantastic finish to a great game of footy.
Well, they love it here.
Well, so they should, Joe. Bad luck for North Melbourne too, because they were responsible for one of the great matches It was unforgettable. And here's Tony McGuinness with Matt Stevens. Go your hardest, Maxie.
Tony, well done. I mean, you had a quick word to the captain then. What'd you say?
I can't believe it. It's just an unbelievable team performance. They're a terrific side. They play really, really well. Our guys just never gave in. We fought really hard. We've been under a lot of pressure the last few weeks. Competition's really tight, so we need to win badly.
I mean, the half-forward line today produced a lot more than it had in the last 3 weeks.
Nicken was terrific. Rory was great in the last corner we got on. Young Mark Ricciuto, everyone was great. It's just a great effort. We're really pleased.
Matthew Robrin, he's really come of age, hasn't he? Last week and then again tonight.
Well, Max Robrin, Modra, sensational. Everybody tried really hard. I mean, competition's just so tight this year. We need wins like that, like you wouldn't believe it. It's a great effort.
Tony Modra, 10 goals tonight. I mean, he's a performer, isn't he? He rises to the occasion.
Well, he's just growing into a superstar. He's just so committed. He's doing really well. It's great.
Okay, mate, we'll let you enjoy the moment. Thanks for talking to us. Well done, Tony. Thanks, mate.
And what a moment for the Adelaide Crows, coming from nowhere to win one of the great contests by 2 points, 123 to 121. Jarman lives off with Bickley and McGuinness, and Gerard Healy, you called it very well. You said McGuinness would ignite them, but I think tonight we saw the confirmation of a champion in Modra. We saw some man at his absolute top tonight, kick 10 goals in an amazing performance. What a game, Adelaide by 2 points.
The name of the game is Australia.
She thought she had the perfect life.
I love you.
The perfect family.
How you doing, honey?
Until she discovers the shocking truths about the man she loved.
I don't know who you are.
Sure you do. I'm your husband.
Nothing is what it seems. In a game of deceit, lies, and betrayal.
Now we're all fair game.
Riveting suspense that will grip you to the last heart-stopping moment. John Hurd, Goldie Hawn. For the first time on television. Deceived, 8:30 next Sunday on Channel 7.
Once you push, you can't stop. You hear 'em, you grab 'em, you want 'em, you crunch 'em.
Goals to 1 in the last quarter. Adelaide by 2 points. 19-9 with Modra kicking 10 over North Melbourne, 18-13 Carey with 5. Extraordinary scenes here at Football Park, both on and off the field, and you'd reckon it was a grand final. And Gerard Healy, in many ways, it was Adelaide's grand final tonight. A loss tonight, and 1993 could well have been over as far as the final 6 was concerned.
Yes, they'd lost 3 games in a row, and 4 in a row, well, it's a pretty tough task to get back. And Tony McGuinness, it wasn't his best game for the season. Statistically, really, well, not too bad, 28. Lifted in the 3rd and 4th quarter. But he is a man that can spark this side, and probably just finished on top of Stevens. There's Stevens' statistics. 21, a stopping performance. But I think Stevens did very well out of the centre, so he's got a future, this player. Chris McDermott, well, look at those possessions. Had a quiet 3rd quarter, still got 6. Times that by 4 is 24, so it's not too bad a performance, but he's amazing. And Captain Courageous for North Melbourne, perhaps he just missed a goal that he should have kicked in the last quarter, but another fine performance from Wayne Carey.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1993 Premiership Season League ladder.
And they will be cheering even more here in Adelaide because the Crows are into the 6 tonight and Collingwood is on top of the table. The stakes were high, weren't they? North Melbourne slipping to 2nd and Adelaide moving into 6th position. So it's Collingwood, North Melbourne, West Coast, Fitzroy, Hawthorn, Adelaide, the big 6 at this stage of the season.
It's the name of the game.
The controversial drug they call the miracle cure has been hailed in the United States as the fountain of youth. Hormonal replacement therapy is now sweeping Australia.
It is a very big business.
New research shows startling results. We examine the benefits to Australian women and men.
Certainly hormone replacement therapy saves sanity, but now I have to say it also saves lives.
A series of special reports starts Monday night at 6.
Call 008 063 063
and discover the easiest way to ski some of the best ski areas in the world. Call 008 063 063 and ski Victoria. It's easy. 5 nights, all-inclusive, $520. 008 063 063. Call now.
Hi, Julie. I just discovered something you didn't tell me about Napisan. Of course, all my whites now come up so white and bright. But I'm amazed how well it works on all kinds of things. The kids' sports gear, beach clothes. No, they're not white. Colours. Yes, colours. Oh, Julie, didn't you know?
Napisan has always been wonderful on whites. The news is it's brilliant on washable colours too.
Sound of the City. 20 fantastic tracks from the early 80s with Duran Duran, Ultravox, Human League, Soft Cell, Spandau Ballet, Visage, the Gender Bender Boy Georgian Culture Club, the Eurythmics, Split Ends, Pretenders, plus some of the biggest and best radio, TV and dance hits of the era. Sound of the City really is the sound of the 80s.
Next on 7, our late movie, Hunk, a devilish comedy about an ordinary guy who becomes an overnight success.
Well, welcome back to Footy Park. We couldn't go, Gerard, without giving the man who's top of the hit parade at the moment one more run, Anthony Modra.
Yes, well, there's Jezelenko, there's Blight, there's Ablett, and there'll be thousands of people here saying in 10 years' time that I was there the day that Modra took that mark. I know I will be, Bruce. Just a fantastic individual performance. And when you consider the time of the game and the fact that he kicked 10 goals, what a fantastic game.
So it's been a great match all round. North Melbourne seemingly home and hose at Football Park. Adelaide coming from the clouds like Modra to get up and win. Good night.
This has been a 7 Sport production. The 1993 AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, Carlton and United Breweries, Telecom Australia, McDonald's, Nike and Foodland.